the game.
Previously on Dark Heresy. You see?
Very good.
I get sold.
Those done it.
Right, so episode.
Watch your mouth, you bumper.
I think he said never gets old. I don't think he actually said it gets old, James.
Oh,
That said never gets sold.
Yeah, I think you misheard him there. But James does do that every time, by the way. But excuse me. He also seems to be that James seems to get the intro more than anyone else combined. So
Yeah.
right, so episode 40, the Seeds of Rebellion. It was day 3 after the orbital assault. Yarn had worked through the night, containing the demon axe Phobos in runic binding and molten lead. He and Jaganatha made quicker work this time, and most of the engineers had been sent away. The air was cleaner and fresher. Jaganatha apologized for his words earlier that day and tried to reach out again to Yarn. He tried to tell him something. He tried to convince him that although the ship was a killer, it was on their side, and sometimes a killer was what you needed. He admitted that the ship had a personality, a consciousness, if you will. Yarn spoke of a woman trapped between worlds, trapped in a cell too small to stand in. Jaganatha knew of what Yarn spoke, but he didn't explain, except to say that it was nothing to do with the ship. That night, his first night separated from the demon axe in some time, Arnold slept fitfully and uneasily. He was pained and anguished by his loss, but perhaps it was for the best. The next day, Quintius and Arnold trained in combat. Quintius put up a spirited fight, but he was greatly outclassed in this arena. He ended the day with many a bruise and a thick ear. At the end of the fight, the surfer who had been watching them invited them to an underground club for fighting that was rumoured to have started many years ago on a hostile prison planet. The first rule about Bath Club is that you don't talk about Bath Club. There was a chance for Arnold to sate his thirst for combat and perhaps make a few thrones in the meantime. Alexa worked all day upon the great chain axe, seeking to replace Arnold's lost weapon. And nothing bad could come of giving the berserker Arnold a chain axe, could there? Alexa was working at 85% efficiency. That night was date night. The party decided to go to the Crow and to let their hair down. Alexa sought a dress at the last minute and Jeeves sprinted off in search. He returned with an elegant dress which came from Laura Skysinger, but he came too late. Alexa was already walking down the corridor. This didn't bother her. Alexa got changed after asking Bodo and Jeeves to turn their heads. And neither of them peeked. Or did they? The acolytes had a jolly old time in the Crow. Spicy dog kebabs were available, thanks to Arnold's suggestion to Jaffa, and the exploits of stormtroopers bringing back looted dog meat from the orbital assault. Yarn interacted with a drunken serf, demanding his tankard. The serf cheered for Yarn, the judge. The serf, who had a perfectly good name, Matalair, said that he and the others on the ship were with him. He and the others on the ship were with him when it came to the time to purge the sinners on board in the name of the God Emperor. Matile spoke, perhaps, a little too loud. Flight Lieutenant Charles Ashe beseeched Quintius to improve the weaponry on his interceptors. Quintius and Nixios were in a position of power here. They could shape the trade of the malevolence, and so bestow favour on the various factions on board. Arnold made friends with a bunch of Orpheans and vowed to put them to use. The Orpheans were having a hard time assimilating with the crew. They weren't even really sure why they were here at all. But the orders had come down from the Cobb Patriarch Cohen. They thought that the reason they had come was to fight the Butcher. It seems as if these Orpheans were not adherents to the path of the Laughing Monk. Arnold intended to screen the Orpheans and see if they could be put to work. Alexa and Bodo had a nice night that wasn't uncomfortable at all.
Yes.
Bodo spoke of his progress on the task that Alexa had set him. To create servitors would take different factions of the crew working together. The Technomancer was already supportive and was training up Bodo to improve his existing knowledge of bionics. And the good Dr. Festus was amiable and happy to get involved. He just liked helping people. But she also needed to get the engineers on board. Or the engineers on side, rather. And Bodo couldn't even get into engineering. The engineers did the bulk of the work on board. They controlled power and operations for the most part. Although the tech adepts had the skill and the technological prowess, the raw workforce of the engineers would be needed to get this project off the ground. Yuki Gleeflesh, the principal face of the black market on board, reported that he had sourced the items the acolytes had requested. Photo contacts, ammo, and a heavy stubber. The mood in the Crow was raucous, and the patrons called for music. Up stepped Billy Cobb, who seemed too drunk to play his fiddle. It was not the first time the acolytes had heard the music of Billy Cobb. He had played the Cotton Eye Joe down on the planet in the Restless Hunter weeks ago. What a strange coincidence that he was now on board. What a strange twisting of fate. Billy stepped up and began to play his fiddle in earnest. Yarn cared not to listen to the Cotton Eye Joe again, and he knew that music was not to be trusted. Yarn reached out with his mind to turn out the lights in the room, using telekinesis, intending to snatch away the fiddle under the cover of darkness. Something went wrong. Perhaps the Cotton Eye Joe defended itself. Or perhaps it was the relentless, unceasing use of power that Yarn employed.
Oh, go on about it.
Such hubris! Ever since his power blossomed on the surface, Yarn had come to rely upon psychics more and more and more. He turned to divination and soothsaying again and again. And down on the orbital assault, the Victorious had been rocked by unnatural earthquakes in protest to his repeated twisting of probability. Since returning to the ship, he had not eased up on his use of warp energies for personal gain. He had torn the veil when he had executed Eric Icebreaker, bathing Arnold and Nosaritsu in warp corruption, spilling the gibbering demon's words into the room as he crushed the life from Eric. And now,
Awesome.
such a use of force, simply to deny a drunk his fiddling. Hubris.
Did all the cheese within 5 miles go bad as well?
Excuse me.
Oh yeah,
So
my
not.
game.
Somewhere in the warp, something massive and ancient stirred again. Yarn collapsed, the lights went out, and the music of the Cotton Eye Joe took on a more sinister turn in the darkness. Bodo leapt to his feet and drew a pistol. He could not protect Alexa from the music. There was a scream in the darkness and a little panic, but also some cheers and whooping. When the lights returned, Arnold noticed that Yarn had collapsed and hoisted him up. Quintius went and spoke to Laura, who seemed quite worried at the state of him. He had received quite the beating. Quintius declared that he was determined to become more handy in a fight, and perhaps there was a little admiration in Laura's eyes. Quintius suggested using the crow for a social gathering of the trade department, and Laura thought it was a good idea, but they would have to keep it hidden from Cassandor, the master of coin. Later that night, back at the cell, Yarn discovered a letter had been secreted upon his person. The letter asked to meet, and thought that Yarn was of a similar mind, to purge the heretics on board. He was not to tell his allies of this clandestine meeting. He was to make sure that the ship's servo skulls did not see him, and to make sure that he wasn't followed. Arnold and Quintius started fighting again. It all got a bit surreal. At one point, Quintius slammed a chair into the Fenrisian, which dented. Plates and cups and supper scattered. Fish stew was on the floor. Arnold grabbed Quintius in an unescapable hold, and Quintius responded by planting a kiss upon the lips of the Fenrisian. For a moment, it looked like Arnold would bite the face off of Quintius like a wild beast, permanently disfiguring him. Then the moment passed. Arnold was free of the demon axe, wasn't he? He didn't need to bite off his ally's face. Arnold released him, and Quintius responded by punching him in the chops. Whilst this nonsense battle went on, Yarn beseeched his ancestors for wisdom. He sought to know about the one who would place the note. He divined the place where he would meet him, and he saw through his disguise to the plain features beyond. And then he saw the man behind it all, the one pulling the strings and planting seeds of mutiny.
Mutini's been a long time coming.
Inquisitor Morland Spinebreaker, the Puritan, the fundamentalist, the one that Cell 53 had betrayed. He sat in his golden mask, flanked by two Adeptus Astartes, decked in steel grey armour.
I was going to say balls of holly there.
Yarn's prescience was true once again. And that is where we shall begin today's game. At the end of day 3. Quintius's and Arnold's fight peters out. You go to bed. And we start day 4 of Power Play. Only 10 more days to go until you reach registration. It's flying by, isn't it? Just remind
23
you guys,
sessions.
I'll just remind you guys, the purpose of Power Play is to speed through a few days. Let's get through these days, and we can move on to the next stage of the campaign.
Absolutely not, Alan. We will track this out.
And I will also tell you, Power Play is for you to advance your own projects. So if you work on one thing over the entirety of these 2 weeks, you may advance that significantly. If you advance 14 different projects on 14 different days, you won't get very far with any of them. So just keep that in mind. Not pointing any fingers, but you're all a little. Well, I don't know. Yeah, there's always been everyone's flitting a bit between projects, I'd say. But just keep that in mind that if you want to advance something over these 2 weeks, you should
I've
concentrate
only
on
had
a little bit, maybe. On
one
day-to-day.
day off my main project.
So on day 4, I think this is what I think I've got in my mind. I think Arnold, you had in mind of screening Orpheans.
Yes.
That's kind of the impression I got in your last in the last game. Is that what you're
carry
still
on-
of a mind to
I
do?
will
Yeah.
carry on screening the Orpheans.
Alexa, I think you mentioned going to see the engineers and trying to carry on with your servitor project. I've lost Johnny now. You muted Johnny, and I can't see you either. Oh, we'll go on. So James, I'm not sure what you want to do. I don't know if you picked anything. This evening you've got a meeting potentially with the mutineers.
This evening.
That's this evening, but you've still got a day of power play to progress some of your objectives. I don't know what those objectives are, so maybe you could enlighten me as to what you'd like to do on day 4 power play.
I said I was going to finish these tats.
Okay, so tattoos for Jan and Quintius. Did you have a plan for day 4, or I'm not certain what you had in mind.
I was going to visit the doctor, get my ear checked out. I don't need to roleplay that. But while I'm there, I remember thinking about doing this, but I don't know if I actually did it. I was going to see if the doctor had some sort of work for Melissa. I can't remember if I did that or not.
You mentioned, I'm not sure. I think you did. I think you have done that, and I think I think that is something that you have progressed already.
Yeah.
So we don't need to worry about that.
What's up with
all right.
You wanted to go to the doctor. I mean, going to see the doctor for medical treatment won't take up your day of power.
Oh.
Have you got something you'd like to be doing?
Yeah, I'm going to spend the day back in the training place. I've forgotten what it's called. Still working on my fighting with 2 weapons technique.
Okay, so you want to be
Today.
at training grounds, okay?
Yeah.
So we've got training grounds. Okay, so I think I'm clear on anyone. So I'd like to start with. Oh, first of all, so Alexa will get up early with everyone else, and she'll go off and do her own thing. In the morning. Okay, so let's see how we're going to do. So in the morning, I'm going to put you onto your chamber map. Turn off that music. Okay, so. Okay, so you have your
I should be
breakfast.
wrapping
Alexa's not here because she gets up earlier than you all, and she does her own thing.
Huh?
I'll take Alexa off the map.
Can you guys hear me all right?
You're in your room having your breakfast as usual, and the door chime goes. Bing bong.
Jeeves, be a good man.
Okay, so Jeeves heads up to the door.
Yes, good
And,
man,
on
good
the
man.
other side of the door is Jaganatha, who you all are quite familiar with, I think. And also Nathaniel Blake, who you might be less familiar with, but he's a young adept that you have met before. You met him in the very first session, at least. He's a young adept with a stutter, and he's usually seen following the interrogator around. And they're wandering. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm not going to do accents for the most part today, especially not Jaganatha. So, but you'll just have to forgive me, because otherwise I'm going to be coughing my guts up.
Yeah.
So when Jaganatha walks in, he sees you all eating, and he says, "Don't let me disturb you." And he goes over to stand by Arnold, and he looks at you, Arnold.
And I look back at.
I
Jaganatha.
can't get anything no volume at all from you. Hayden.
Hello.
Can
It's
I,
fine for me, mate.
I'm gonna rejoin the call. And
Oh.
that'll be on my side.
Okay.
Right. So,
Hello.
oh, great. That's perfect. So Jagannatha, he walks up to you.
Morning, Nagadjaffa. How are you doing?
He says, it's Jagannatha. I'm
Sorry.
well. I'm well.
Yeah.
Jagger.
This day is, you can call me Jagger if you like, Arnie.
Is that all right? It's just a bit easy if I say the last name. It's hard on my Frisian tongue.
That is fine. I've arrived to discuss with you your plans. I've been told by John Cobb you have decided to take on the role of putting the Orpheans to work. Is that true?
Yes, I need to be shown the ropes and see what use I can make out of them for the ship and for the greater good. Yeah.
He says, this task is a noble one. And I'm glad you've taken it on. So to this end, I will be signing Nathaniel to your to assist you. He is good with numbers and writing and reading and that sort of thing.
That'll help.
Administration, I imagine this.
I don't even know that word. Yes, I'm sure it will.
He's good at organising things. A project of this size, you will need a man like Nathaniel on your side. Unless you intend to do all the bookkeeping yourself. He smiles at that as if he knows what he's saying.
Yeah, you know, all I can read is runes.
And he says, well, good, I shall let Nathaniel and you get on with your task.
Well, thank you for your assistance. I'll be in a good mood as well.
There are around 20 cobs in the training arena waiting for your
20 cobs?
20, well, I mean cobs and assorted families, mostly cobs.
In arena, yeah?
Uh-huh.
20
Yeah.
times the waiting.
5 gold rings.
Why? That's annoying. Why am I blue squares to everyone else, or am I just blue squares to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Let's
are
go.
to me as well.
you
Yeah.
are to me
I'm
as
gonna
well.
I'm gonna read you. You know.
4 heretics.
1 John Cobb.
2 hiding lictors.
And Nathaniel with
One
a
demon host.
Very good.
And a demon host eating your face.
Why is this not working? I wonder. I'm gonna.
On the-
screaming victors.
I'm gonna.
On the 6th day of Heresymas, the Emperor gave to me.
I'm gonna restart. I'll be right back, guys. I'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
7
Six.
silent sisters and slutty.
6 cultists culting.
7 slutty sisters.
5 heretics. 4 plague marines.
2 custodians. I'm just skipping 3.
Two Lehman Russ. And a demon host eating your face.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the heresies of Christmas.
There's some money to be made there. Potential Christmas
Arnie.
number 1.
In this millennium, isn't Christmas heresy?
Great.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I
was-
believe it would be. I
No,
believe it would
it's-
be, yeah.
It's Slanesmus, isn't it? In the 41st University, it's something
On
totally
the
different.
8th day of Christmas, the Emperor gave to me 8 demonettes.
We're confused.
Errors. 6 was the letters.
5 heretics.
5 what?
Heretics.
Right, yeah.
4 plague marines.
3 blood letters.
2 Lehman Russ.
And a demon lord eating your face.
We're just making a 40k chaos army, aren't we? We're just doing the list. 1 is obviously HQ, 2 is your elite, 3 is your troop choice. Where's Alan gone? He's missing all the fun.
It's days of Christmas and up by the looks of it. Oh, I've got aid anyway. I've got Dragon Alpha.
You've got AIDS? Oh. Got space AIDS. Hey, if anyone's got space AIDS here, it's me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I have not slept with anybody as Arnie.
Side quest.
No, but you have kissed Quintius.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you've probably got space herpes.
I did not.
Oh, no!
Yes.
I haven't. It's been confirmed I don't have space herpes. Alexa tested me.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
All right.
tested.
Well,
He was tested.
Yeah,
Have you
I'm
been
clean.
Yep. Oh, he's been somewhere else since, had he? Oh no, he resisted. Oh, did you?
I went to. I spent a night with Melissa, but I think that was before the Alexa incident.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think the Alexa incident was the party of the ship. After we blew up the ship.
Yeah, it was, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe, who knows?
You could have got space aids after that.
Hey guys.
Or space is.
Oh, there's Alan.
Hi.
Alan's missed most of the 12 days of heresyness. You're probably grateful for that.
Well, I'm glad you've progressed that. It needed to be fleshed out, I think. So. Oh, I see Johnny's got a nice little tree on the go as well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just could just my Swede in. But you can't argue at the price, can you? So.
Exactly.
Right. So, just give me a moment while I get back into the game and reload my files.
This is our tree, right? And you see this ornament here? This really cute hedgehog.
I thought it was a dead hamster, but no, it's a hedgehog, is it?
My cat fucking hates this
I'm
ornament.
not surprised. Looks like a fucking mouse.
She sits here batting at it. Ow! What have I done to my head?
Okay, yeah. So Arnold, you've been assigned an admin guy to help you out. So
Nathaniel.
yeah. So I think I'd like to start. I'll play then day 4 with Jan. Jan, you heading off to the Peruvian quarter in the Starboard barrack. Is that Jan? Hello, Jan.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
You
cool,
really-
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Can you hear me
and then-
fine? Cool. So you're heading off to the Peruvian quarter in the Starboard barracks to continue getting your tattoos, which you've have a reasonably good idea that these are going to protect you from the corruption of the miasma. Some of the symbols are not entirely dissimilar from those that you've used to contain the heretical items. So you're quite confident this is going to work, and you've already got some tattoos on your hand and your arm, and you feel better for them.
How complete is this going to be? Like when I'm done with this, I'm just wondering, like, can I fit more tats on?
Well, it's going to cover your entire body. Would there be any advantage to filling up the gaps with another layer of smaller tattoos, and then another smaller layers, like a what's the word I'm looking for?
All of tattoos.
So it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller the closer you go. So as you get closer and closer down to the molecular level, there's still more and more runes. I mean, could that be an advantage? Perhaps, but at first stage, you need to get the actual first set done.
Yeah.
Could you keep adding to these and keep making them more protective, perhaps?
Cool.
But at the minute, you know, you've only got your hand and your arm done, and you've still got a long way to go before the first set are complete. The starter barracks is a big press of humanity stuck together in one room. So there's a certain smell to it, you know, a smell of men, you know, that's quite distinctive. And you know, there is a lot of discipline in this room, but you know, it's still, you know, still a lot of bodies packed into one space. So you make your way to the Peruvian Quarter, and you make your way to find Nosoritsu, who has worked on your tattoos before, and he's there. And you also recognise there is Kiyoshi, the Inquisitor's bodyguard, and he seems to be having some tattoos done himself. You may have seen it before, maybe not. Dave, do you want to describe? He has something that's on his arms, isn't it? It's like a tally. Is that right?
Yes. On one arm he has a tally in various colours, different colours, and on the other arm he has a list of, I think it's 13 names.
Okay. So Kiyoshi's actually being worked on, you know, as you approach. So you approach Nosoritsu, and he looks at you and goes, I'm not going to do the terrible Japanese accent because that one will tax me. and he bids you good day, and he asks whether you'd return for, you know, to carry on the work.
Yeah, man. Is there a time I can come back and finish up these tattoos?
No, he asks you to sit and just be patient. Kiyoshi's tattoos will not take long. There's not much to this. We're simply adding to the tally at the moment on one arm. We're not doing any work on any names. So he bids you to sit down and just be patient for a moment. And after he finishes up with Kiyoshi, he you know, bids you to wait while he heads off. You know, he says he should be back shortly. And you're left alone with Kiyoshi in this little kind of section of the ship. It's the barracks are quartered off with canvases and stuff like that. So you get little it's like corridors and rooms within a room. So you're in this little closed off section. It's like a little tattoo shop in a sense, deep within the Peruvian Quarter. And yeah, so you two are sat alone. Kiyoshi, as always, is quite a silent gentleman, but he looks at you and he makes eye contact and he speaks.
What, Yoshi?
Shepherd, it is good to see you return here. You have come for more work upon the ink work on your body, yes?
Yeah, man. I'm exploring the use of tattoos in a way to control the psychic arts. Maybe offer some protection against the unpredictability.
This is a worthwhile task, I imagine. And should such protection indeed take hold and work for you, it is surely a testament to the skill of Nahiro. Naritsu.
I think, yeah. No, sorry, I've got it wrong. Nahiro is correct.
Nahiro.
Nosoritsu is the guy who bunked with Eric.
Yeah.
And these are both guys from my workplace. Not actually Afghanis, but
Yeah.
both guys I've interacted with. So yes, Nahiro is a tattooist and Nosoritsu is a stormtrooper.
Nahiro's work is clearly of great skill and talent.
Yes, he is pioneering a new discipline in the art of tattooing.
aid. And such skill, such artistry should be rewarded, do you not think?
Of course, man. The reward will be word.
In a job well done.
Fit. Yeah, will fit the job.
Is the staff in here, Alan?
Yeah, so previously you'd given him your blessed staff as a kind of a down payment for the work. Yeah, and it's still around.
I think I bought him an 80 credit bottle of jobber as well.
Did you? Have I fucked up here? I didn't think you'd given him anything more. So what do you think you've given Nosaritsu for your work so far?
I'm pretty sure I spent 80 credits on whatever the from the quartermaster. Jan bought or spent his remaining creds on a bottle of Amasek. So I don't know what that actually.
No, you did buy a bottle of Amasek, and that's and that's not without. Yeah, I think no, you're actually right. So you have given him more than what I thought that you had. I thought you'd only given him the blessed staff up to now. You have given him some Amasek as well. It's still, I mean, it's not a bad offering. It's a good value item. But no, thanks, James. I'd forgotten that. So thanks for reminding me.
I can roll with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
The Amasek is fine quality. I have sampled such a drink before. But take my advice, Shepherd. Keep the tribute coming if you wish for the finest work from the hero.
And I'm going to indicate the names down one arm that are quite intricate with sort of scroll work that snakes around the back. And then I'm going to point at the really crude tally on the other arm and say, here is the difference between good payment and none.
Nice rolling with the punches there, Dave. Well done.
Yep, I can do this shit.
You must have done this sort of shit before.
Yeah, once or twice. And then I'm also going to say to him,
there is talk on a ship, Shepherd. People are calling you the judge. I heard what happened with Eric Icebreaker.
Yeah, man. That I don't regret doing it, but the way I did it was regrettable. I learned a lot from that one, but I truly believe that he was in league with dark powers. He would not come willingly to explain himself. I did what I had to do.
Perhaps he was in league with something we do not understand, but Eric was a fierce warrior and respected aboard the ship, and he has been here longer than you. Perhaps he did not believe you had the right to tell him what to do and where to go. And whether he deserved to be slaughtered like a pig in his own room is a matter open for debate. But, like I say...
Really, man. To be fair, it did not, but that's the way the dice rolled.
But understand this, Shepherd. Your actions may have been the spark that lights the fire. There have always been factions and divisions aboard this vessel since I boarded, but now they are becoming tumultuous. There is tension aboard the ship, and it is beginning to spill over into everyday life.
the Inquisitor, he walks a fine line between using the fire of his enemies as a weapon against them. There's certain lines that I don't believe should be crossed.
I agree, Shepard. But I understand your position here as protector of the Inquisitor. It makes my life difficult when it comes to personal decision.
See you as a pious man. Does it grate on you that the Inquisitor uses such method?
I should not speak of such things. It is unbecoming of a man in my position. And it is perhaps not safe to speak to me of such things, Jan.
I don't know the name, do I, Al, of the guy in the vision?
Which one do you mean? Do you mean the guy who sent you the note?
Yeah.
Now, you don't know his name, but you have seen his face. He was wearing like this mask that obscured his face and using a voice distorter in the vision. But then your vision just tore that aside. So you've seen his face, and you would know him if you saw him. But the ship is a large place. You could maybe, if you could see that face in front of you, you could tie it up with a name, but you don't know his name. But you do know he was wearing the uniform of a gunnery loader.
Oh. Kyoshi, do you know where I would go to check the crew record?
Crew record, I suppose, depending on your access level, could be perhaps. Well, yeah, you referring to crew history or current personnel?
Oh. The history can wait for another time, though. I'm sure that may be an interesting analysis in itself. So, current records, man, who works where on the ship?
I am not certain, Shepard, but I believe you may be able to check such things from one of the terminals aboard the ship. I may be incorrect. It is not something I frequently use myself. But I imagine your access level would be higher than mine.
What? You're the Inquisitor's defender. You're the Inquisitor's bodyguard, man. That made no sense.
My skill, is with a blade and with watchfulness, not in interrogating cogitator systems.
You not need a certain amount of access to do your job, man.
Perhaps, but I
Look around suspiciously at the walls of this small room and go,
I am untrusting of technology such as this.
I just kill people.
Yes, I am here to stab.
Kyoshi, he's a little bit wary of tech.
Yeah.
Why has a bow and a sword?
Yeah, no satisfactory, yeah, man. I see we prefer the analog. Yeah.
The old ways are sometimes the best.
Yeah, man.
Tell me, Jan, I overheard some of what the Inquisitor said to you and the others in your cell. Is it true that you met Spinebreaker?
Yeah, man, that's true. He offered us position with him to do his work instead of the Inquisitors. They're like, they seem to be two sides of the same coin, man. They just, they use different methods to do their job. One seems Puritan, the other seems more radical.
And
Has Lucius said anything about there being some kind of family history between them?
He hasn't said a family history. He said things like that Spinebreaker is somewhat obsessed with him. And Jagannath said that Lucius had taken something from Spinebreaker that he could not stand to lose. But as for family, not so much. But it does make sense that if they're both Inquisitors, that they would move in similar social circles. They might have even, you know,
That's what I want to
you
try.
know what I mean? They're both, yeah. So, but not family, but you know, but
similar aesthetic.
no, they certainly don't. Well, you didn't see Spinebreaker because he was behind a mask, but you don't think that they're related. But the Inquisition is like a family in a sense.
Are they not both behind that?
No. Lucius doesn't wear a mask. He's never worn a mask.
Okay.
You're thinking of Malifaux, Jay.
Yeah.
No. He wears. He shows his face. He's quite attractive.
Has it been?
Features.
Been a year and a half?
It's got high cheekbones. He seems quite young. Seems a bit young to be an Inquisitor. He's got a ponytail. I think pale blue eyes. Now, what I think where the confusion might come from is to start with, you had a vision of someone who poisoned you, and he was behind a mask, and you assumed that it was Lucius. But then, when you met Spinebreaker, you realised actually the vision was of your future with him, and what had happened in that vision of your own death was that you had fought a campaign, and then at the end of the campaign, the Inquisitor basically said that you're too corrupt. You've been too corrupted by this campaign to allow you to continue to live. And you were poisoned. There was poison in the wine, and then he had the Grey Knight shoot you in the head with a storm bolter. So that was the vision of your own death, but it was actually Spinebreaker, not Lucius, who the vision was about, and that was like a
way to go.
sort of a twist that came, at some point. So I think that may be where the confusion has come from. But Lucius has never worn a mask in your presence.
Really good. I don't know what to make of them both, but I got a job to do, and I'm not a traitor, man. I'm also not a traitor to the Imperial Creed either. That takes priority for me, so I will take matters as they come and do what I think is right at the time.
Okay.
It didn't strike me as right to join Spinebreaker and his Puritan side, though I must admit losing the sisters troubles me. And I can't help but feel it is our current path that has led to the sisters even.
It is a recurring problem aboard this ship that those of faith, those outwardly faithful, have a habit of disappearing.
Demon shit.
It's Spinebreaker, man. I know that he's on the ship working with saboteurs. Well, he's not specifically on the ship himself. That'd be weird.
That would be a bit weird.
Bravo.
He's in a cupboard.
Yeah.
In the underdecks.
He's the quartermaster.
Hello.
Ah, you didn't expect that
Narnia
one, did you?
nowadays.
Break
Peekaboo.
cupboard. We've had the duck.
Yeah, she's going to stand up and start to leave, and then stop and say, "You say that Spinebreaker and Lucius are two sides of the same coin. Yet they both claim to serve the God Emperor. It is a shame they cannot find common ground and spend their currency in the same way as one another." I tried to make metaphor there that worked in Peruvian language, but not so much in Low Gothic.
Good recovery, Dave.
And then he's going to take a couple of steps away, then turn back again and say, "There is trouble coming to this vessel, Jan. A war is brewing, and I hope when the time comes that you and I will be on the same side."
I hope that too cures you, man. Yeah.
And he's just going to give him a nod and shuffle off.
Okay. So you have this conversation. You don't think you were overheard, but you are in one giant room, the barracks, and it's subdivided with canvas and various ways, and there's a lot of noise around in general. You don't think you're overheard, but it is a sort of place where you could be. There could always be someone listening in. It's not the sort of place where you think you're completely secure in any conversation. Nahiro returns after a few minutes, and he begins work on your tattoos, and he will carry on the work for the rest of your day 4. So are you right there, Dave? Are you falling over?
Ow!
You're not
tried
twisted your ankle, have you, or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got up
no.
to go for a piss, my legs have gone to sleep, and I've fallen over on the stairs.
At least we got to see it. So there's always that.
I was bringing my laptop with me, I just threw the laptop on the stairs.
It serves you right to go for a piss with your laptop, so it
What?
serves you-
You all want to be here for this? Don't worry, I'm gonna turn the camera off.
Okay, so right. Was there anything else that you would like to do in the Freedom Quarter during your Pablo? Can we move on, Jan, to one of the others?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So your two work will carry on during the day. Okay, so next up I'd like to go with Arnold. Are you with us, Arnold?
Aye. Yes, I am.
You head to the training grounds, which still look quite a bit beaten up. You've got Nathaniel in tow.
Nathaniel.
And Nathaniel says, yes?
I need you to take notes on all these people, size, build, health, and then help me out with labor required areas on the ship.
And Nathaniel says to you, and he says, well, the ship is short on manpower throughout. I suggest that we try and screen these savages on their abilities.
Man, not savage.
Well, yes, but they are savages. Surely they're not from the Imperium.
Scoff at that a little bit. And to say yes, you are right. John Cobb, isn't it? The leader of them. Shall we go speak to him?
Yeah, so at the minute you're kind of walking, you're talking to Nathaniel on the way, and he says to you, I suggest that we try and rate them on their abilities, and then assign them to more, more
Fitting
suited to their
areas, yeah.
more suited to their individual talents, if indeed they have any.
No, you never know. I found some good shipbuilders, skidders, all that sort of thing. Things are useful in life. Maybe not on ship, but you can turn your hand to anything. You can turn your hand to that.
Make a scrutiny roll, please.
Okay, look at catch you up. I've not had it felt. Arnold. That's probably
You know who would make a really good engineer is a 3-armed dwarf.
If only you had one of those.
3 natural arms, 5 others is going to be my new Octo Xavier.
I've made my scrutiny test.
Okay, so yeah, I mean Nathaniel, he walks with you and he nods, and he nods in the right places, and he agrees with you. You head to the training. You head to the training ground, and you see that it's still heavily damaged, as if by some wild beast. And you know that that wild beast is you. You're the one who's hacked the fuck out of the training grounds, and you know you're the reason that there are no training servitors here to be seen. And from now on, you know the training grounds are damaged, and they do need repairing if they're to get back to full efficiency. But you, at least at the time, you did have fun slashing up the servitors for a bit. So, so anyway, but that's another job for Alexa. Let her worry about that. So here you are. You're in. I've put you onto a map. And here are the various rednecks, and yeah, so here you are, and you recognise John Cobb. He's one of the first batch, and he's the guy you were talking to last night in the Crow. There was a few Orpheans there, but it was one of them who was leading the conversation, and that was good old John Cobb.
Hello.
Solid and dependable.
I'll come up to him and say, right, hello, John.
And John speaks in his deepest, growliest Bayou voice, and he says to you, "Hey, it's good to see you again, Arnold. Thanks for what you said to us, and these guys." And he looks around the various family members in the room. He says, "They're all eager to do their part. We've kind of been kicking our heels quite a bit. We want to pull our weight. We want to do what we can.
So what are you good at?
We're here to fight the butcher. Well, I mean, what are we good at? I mean, everyone obviously has got their own individual talents, but I think I could fight. I'm handy man. I think I'd be best suited to soldiering, to taking the fight to the butcher."
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
I'm good with a blade. I'm good with a rifle. I'm good at tracking.
Do you know how to use a las rifle? Very useful.
A
Do you know how
what?
to use a las rifle, John?
I don't.
It's a fancy sci-fi shit gun, eh? As you would
That
say on the
sounds-
planet.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I obviously, I mean, I don't really recognise what you're
Well,
talking about. I mean, I'm good with a, just a normal rifle. It fires bullets. That's what I know.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we could find something like
Shotguns,
that
good
for you.
shotguns, good with a bow.
We won't need a bow. We won't
No?
need a bow up here, unfortunately.
Sure, I saw one guy walking around with a bow.
Big shot.
There's nothing wrong with bow.
Oh, don't mind him. It's a bit of an oddball,
No,
that. Don't talk much. He's usually quite aggressive. Yeah, well, mind you, that's kind of like me. Shit. Anyway, I'll take that back. And carries on, chatting to him, bit of idle chit chat. Then he gets down to a few points. He says, "Right, which one of you would make good fighting men, and which one would you make good working men?"
Okay, and the various family members, they start to separate themselves out, and Nathaniel, he comes up to you and he taps you on the arm a little bit, and he tries to draw you to one side to talk to you.
Okay. And I walk one side with Nathaniel and say, "What do you want?"
He says, perhaps we should try some form of screening to see, that they may think they're good at fighting, but perhaps it's just, perhaps they're wrong, perhaps we need to put them to the test."
Well, I will take the ones which say they're good at fighting and give them a sort of slight training course on projectiles and see what they're good at for the next few days. That's what I intend to do with them, Nathaniel. I'll give them a bit of training myself, and if they're no good, I'll put them back to work.
Okay, so the rednecks, they start to split themselves out, and of the 20 that are here, there are 6 who think that who seem willing and put themselves forward for soldiery. And that leaves
All
you
right.
with 14 others.
You're going to be my unit.
Okay, so and there are a lot more, and John says to you, there are a lot more of us on board. Obviously, just brought 20 to start with, but we can,
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
are about 800 of us in total.
I know it's going to take a long time to screen this, John, but maybe you could put a bit of word round and get yourselves into camps, and we could start getting your work placement sorted. Even if it's just menial labour, it'll keep you going.
He says, "Yeah, I mean, we're willing to do our part, willing to pull our weight. Have you got work for
We
it?"
need... Yeah. Well, I'll pass it to Nathaniel. Nathaniel, can you instruct John on what work needs to be done, placements-wise?
And Nathaniel, excuse me a sec. I'm going to get myself another drink, and then I'm going to just have a bit of a hacking cough, and then I'll return. So if you just want to take a minute.
Okay.
When you said you were going to put some of them through the paces, I thought, are they going to make them fight Quintius? If you can't beat Quintius, you don't belong.
I'm going to train these to be Arnie's Bayou boys.
Arnie's roughnecks.
Big Arnie's Bayou Roughnecks.
Big Arnie's Bayou boys.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part too. I watched that the other day.
Well, look, all of you
Hold
have been
up,
doing stuff for yourself.
Quick
I'm
video
gonna
of
be mini squatting.
Quintius in bed with Laura, Melissa, and that black-eyed bitch from the planet, and Quintius is like, "I'm doing my part."
Yeah.
You have to get more.
I'm shagging all the locals.
I like them with about 6 jobs in front of her, doing a bit on each. I'm doing my part.
I'm trying to do my part, but I keep getting distracted.
She's got distracted here.
Yeah, and they're surrounded by demons and people being crushed by his mind. I'm doing my part.
Yeah. His eyes melted out around him. I was only just trying to see which way to go.
The only good heretic is a dead heretic.
I
had my
was just seeing the fates, see which road I took to get to the post office.
James, in Hayden's game, I had my own little perils moment. My character's a psyker, but he's not much of a psyker. He doesn't often use his powers. But I've built him to be like a brawler. He's really high strength and weapon skill, but he is a psyker. And I don't use my powers often because I forget they're there. And I used one the other night in the game and got fucking perils and made all the food within something like, was it within 2 kilometers go bad or something?
Yeah, basically.
And the thing is that we're in a prison, and food is quite scarce. Like decent food's quite scarce. And me and Alan got, as a reward for being good in the arena, we got a load of Reecheese, and we're carrying something like 120 kilos of Reecheese around with us. And it's like used as currency. It's edible. It's like a right treat. Everyone's into Reecheese, and it's all gone bad because of my psychic powers. And knowing this, I then willingly ate some and gave myself the shits. And had to roleplay shitting in a prison toilet in enemy territory while there's a guy waiting outside my cubicle to kill me. It was one of the most glorious moments of roleplay I've ever had. Whereas Hayden's describing this guy outside the room, and I'm just going.
We have some laughs in our game.
It's fucking immense. That game is so much fun. I was just telling James about me corrupting all the cheese.
Oh yeah, we'd gone through. This cheese was like, I don't know, it's like gold in the prison, right? And we'd managed to look our way onto this massive reserve of cheese, which made us like billionaires in the prison. And then Dave went ahead and just corrupted it all. And then we used it to create a wall.
Oh yeah, we made a wall of corrupt cheese, didn't we? Yeah.
We walled in. Yes, that was the the climax of that little story. Is that we decided to turn on we basically one of the guards we walled his room in with cheese.
we blocked his door, didn't we?
We did like a bit of like you would make a wall. We kept putting the layers and layers and layers of this gammy cheese and we ran away.
It's the most childish role-playing game ever.
It's like me and Dave, we were both like, we want to do a serious role play. Like when we're GMing, we know, and then when we're actually players, we're just these fucking children, murder hobos going around, doing stupid shit. And, so we can't judge, we can't be judgmental because we're awful in that game. We just,
It's like the whole
like
aim of the game.
kids,
The aim of the game is to escape from prison, and 16 sessions in, we've probably spent an hour working on that.
It's good fun, that game. So.
It is.
Oh, right. So I've got myself some kill cough down me and a strepsil.
Do that shit.
Let's see how we get along. So, do you want to carry on then, Hayden? So you were. What exactly did you want to say, or?
I was saying to Nathaniel, I was like, right, could you start organising a working vetting station? Get a bit of feedback.
It's off Johnny.
Feedback, is it?
From it? Yeah, there's a dryer in the background.
All right. So anyway,
So you want Nathaniel to start? He wants Space to start. Taking on that, trying to vet these guys for what they might be good at.
Yeah, and I'd like to have
Take
more
on the
people. Take on the administrative part, and also have someone going round. I should be maybe going round between door to door, knocking up the icampions and offering work in different districts, with maybe Nathaniel and just going round each door and door knocking, basically. And sending them to work.
So a few things. So firstly, the Orpheans are all in one big room. They're all in like a barracks, like the Floridians.
That's
They're
pretty
very
easy.
different. But it's Nathaniel suggests that we take them in batches and we work our way through them in batches, and get them to come here. And just here's as good as place as any. And he's quite happy to work through like the screening.
Yep.
And take on the administrative role of it.
I'm going to work through interviewing a few of these people. We don't all have to do it in role play, but basically I'm going to ask them what they're good at. How I think they'll be useful, and what can you see yourself wanting to learn on board ship.
Okay.
And asking Nathaniel to take notes after I've asked these questions. I'll reiterating it to him as he's doing his work.
So you've got 6 of them who have put themselves forward for soldiers, and you've got 14 of them who are left. Now, I'd like you to please to make 14 D100 rolls as you work your way through these guys, and you put them through some tests, you query them, and you start to try and work out what these guys are good at or not.
11, 12,
Is there a way to make it roll 14 same roll?
I don't know.
I pressed it 14 times anyway, so should be good.
Okay. So just give me a moment, please.
Okay. I don't want to ask actually because I quite like the mystery.
Not like that.
Are you playing as the Old Republic on the Switch, Aiden? Is it good?
Oh, Yeah, yeah. I'm on to number 2, and I've gone through both games twice now. Well, I've nearly gone through number 2 twice. I've been right evil bastard. I love the Wookiee. I just love being the fucking Wookiee on number 2. He kicks ass. I mean, your Jedi does after a while, but I mean, like, you get that Wookiee with you, and everything just dies next to it. It's great.
I'm just enjoying being an Ogren in Dark Tide, where you're running around, you yell stuff, and occasionally your Ogren goes, "If I crouch down, I look like little man, like rest of you."
Cool.
One of the voices for the Psyker is fucking hilarious. He's like this insanely camp German. And you're like running around, he's going, "Oh, there is heresy afoot, yeah?"
I see where your bad guy from the sectors come from now.
No, that came before I played Darktide.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
you mean
I
Omar
did down
Endish.
here,
Sure, you've come to
Yeah.
buy some grenades, have you?
he's got such a panto name, Dave. Some like.
I will sell you illegal firearms. Oh, that black vest really suits you. It brings out your eyes.
Definitely tell you about some time in the theatre with names like that. What's Omar Endish?
Hey, I didn't make the name up.
Oh yeah.
No, it's from a pre-published adventure. This name.
That's kind of like failed in my expectations. Really, I feel a bit disappointed, you know.
All the guys in the bar in the Sanctuary Gallows, they're my invention. But Omar Endish and Vornus Crimson are not. And all the guys in the last town were all my invention as well. Like good old Facebiter.
Oh, it's got a good name.
But no.
He hasn't anymore.
Yeah, but had a good name.
Yeah, he had a good name. He had a good hat. Now he's dead,
Yeah.
and he's got his hat.
Grenade biter.
There can only be one. There can only be one face buyer, and that's my character. This hive ain't big enough for the two of us.
Fucking knew as soon as I put that guy in with a tricorn hat, I knew Canny was going to kill him and take the hat.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm that easily predictable. So. I'm not, well, I'm happy with this scenario. I've got no regrets. There's no regrets. I don't need to prove that I'm, not predictable.
No, the thing is, none of you are entirely predictable, but there's certain things that I know if I put them in the game, they will entice you. And I knew if I put a guy called Facebiter in the game who wore a tricorn hat, I knew Canny would kill him and take the tricorn hat.
And you also knew that I'd set fire to all that fucking alcohol that you left in the bar. As well.
Yeah, that was kind of there for that reason. I didn't know it was going to be you. I knew it would be one of you.
Okay, so you spend the day screening these Orpheans and cross-examining them. Of the 14 who remain, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2. Of the 14 who remain, there are 5 of these that you think are beyond redemption. They are. You would call them hopeless, Hayden. You don't think that they are very good. For example, there's one of them who seems to have like palsy or something. There's a couple of them who just seem to be, so hopelessly alcoholic that you can smell the moonshine on their breath, and that they're just, you don't even think you can put them to work. So there's 5 of them. 5 of the 14.
Okay, I'm
you
going
don't even
to smile to myself at this.
These are
And,
dregs.
yeah,
Okay.
I know. I'm going to lean over and talk to Nathaniel. Is it Nathaniel?
Here's Nathaniel, yeah, Nathaniel
Yeah,
Blake.
I'm going to talk to Nathaniel, take him to one side and say, do we have a servitor program up and running for the dregs so not to waste these bodies?
Says, I have heard a rumour, but I'm not. I'll find out.
We'll find out.
He
Best not make any rash decisions just yet. Not to upset the apple cart. We can always provide them with masks so not to distress the other crewmates.
So there are two of them who you think will be useful for little more than manual labour. So they would make good serfs. There's a couple of them who are a bit stronger. Not the brightest sparks in the book, but they're more suited for maybe gunnery loading, which is quite a physically demanding
Is that
manual
two
labour job.
gunners?
So you've got two gunnery loaders, two serfs,
Yeah.
5 who are hopeless.
Yeah, I'll
There
put
were
shite
two-
for them.
There are two of them who you think, what you consider, let's call them crafters. They've got kind of primitive skills. They're good with their hands. There's maybe a leather worker there and a smith. So they're not really good at perhaps crafting sci-fi shit, but perhaps they could be used to convert, some of the materials that you have on board ship into other things. But these are what we might call primitive crafters. We have one skilled. And I'd like you to roll a D10, please.
Give them to Alexa. Let her space them at her own will.
To say like we just dress them up as engineers and
Just get them refining stuff and smelting stuff.
Oh, sorry. Take the first one, Alan. I was too high up on my page. I rolled it
The
twice.
first one is an 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so you come across one of these guys, and he seems incredibly good at talking. He's perhaps some sort of orator. You don't know if he'd be any good at... he puts you in a little bit of a mind of Quintius somehow. He seems to be a good talker. So you've got what we might call an orator. And then we've got two... what we might consider advanced, or potentially advanced skills. I'd like you to roll 2 more D10. What have you rolled, please?
A 9 and a 6.
A 9 and a 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so one of these Orpheans, Nathaniel kind of interjects and he says, actually this one I think I might like to take this one under my belt. Personally, he seems to have an interest and a skill with numbers and with spreadsheets. Do you know what 40k Excel is?
Yeah.
And Arnie just says, is that some sort of a bike?
Oh, forget about it. But this one seems to have a similar skill set to me. And so you've got one potentially an adept, and then finally, perhaps the most unusual one of the pick is this Orphean who he doesn't talk very much, and he seems quite difficult to get anything out of him. But as you talk with him and you interrogate him and you put him through some paces, the hairs on the back of your arm prick up.
Uh-oh.
And you think you know what this is. You get this. You're getting quite experienced with psychers.
This feels like
and the
yarn.
effect. It may well be that here we have an unsanctioned psyker,
I'm going to call him a yarner.
a yarner.
Yes, I have a yarner here.
So,
There's
given
someone
that
like yarn.
you've and this is partly because of your rolling, but you think that overall you've had a good haul in this first batch. Maybe it's fate what you've done here, but you've got some potential here with your recruits.
So, I'll be consulting Nathaniel. I might take the orator for myself.
All right.
Yeah. Is he any good at jokes?
Roll a d20, please. What have you rolled, please?
8.
Okay, so it's his name's Sam Cobb, and he does, he's quite witty. He does tell you a rude joke, and yes, and it does get a little laugh out of you.
All right. some cob.
He
I've
says,
got
hold on a second.
Yeah.
What he says, oh, that doesn't necessarily work, but let me just, and he says, my penis was in the Great Book of Records. And he says, but then the librarian told me to take it out.
Awesome.
So, yeah, and so I mean, this guy he somehow puts you in a bit of mind. He's nothing like Quintius. He's not a noble. He's far from a noble. But there's something in the easy way that he talks, how the words kind of roll off, and there's something almost hypnotizing by the way he can keep you interested in what he's about to say. And he definitely
and it's been trapped by him.
He's a talker, and Quintius is a talker. And even though they're completely different in how they look, how they, their background, there's something of him, something of Sam Cobb that puts you in the mind of Quintius.
Well, I reckon, Sam, you should come round to our place and meet my friend Quintius. He can talk like you. You'll make good drinking stories together.
Okay. So, so that's going to be your day for power play. You've got some leads here, and I'll note this all up, and this will be something that might develop over time.
Do I do anything with designation? Or are you just going to designate them from what you've done there?
I don't know how much we need to micromanage every single...
Yeah, okay, so we just go from there and put them in the associated
I'm not exactly
maps.
sure how we're going to play this. I mean, it may be that you've got certain recruits you want to focus on more than others, and you think, oh, this is something I can really use. Or you can kind of automate it to a degree. I don't know what you think. I mean, what I don't want to do is just spend all game talking about these different Orpheans and exactly what they're doing. And
exactly.
So we need
what
to
I'd
streamline
like
it a
to do
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you carry on, and I'll write it up for next time for you.
Yeah, I mean, what I say, well, just that thing you made a list of what you potentially got there to play with. And the next time you keep if you keep at this, if you might well get more and more, and then you can start to if you get like a collection of various different skills, you can start to use them on board the ship. But so if you get enough crafters, for example, you might be able to use them crafters to help out. But at the minute, remember, you only got like the odd guy here and there, and they're still they're not.
So I'm still sifting.
They're not like acolytes. Yeah, still sifting.
I've made the list for today, so that's good. So they've got for designated sections when the option comes around.
Yeah, so we've got a starting point, but I don't want to get bogged down in what's going on here. Okay, so we'll leave you there then, if that's all right, Hayden.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Maybe go on to Alexa.
Yeah.
You with us,
guys?
buddy?
Yeah, can you guys hear me? Alright.
I can hear you just fine, mate.
Excellent stuff. Cool.
Let me just turn your volume up slightly. Just give me one moment while I have a bit of a hack.
Oh,
this has got well interesting for me.
Wow,
I feel
Grandfather has visited a plague upon our GM.
I mean, that reminds me. You do all of you on your various things today. You do notice a bit more coughing than normal.
Yeah.
A bit more coughing on board the ship. Perhaps it's nothing.
Perhaps it's written in my notes from our session.
Oh, right. Perhaps it's the GM on a whim. I don't know. Or maybe there's something more sinister to the coughing. Okay, so Alexa, you get up before everyone else. So, and you have a longer work day than everyone else because you don't need as much sleep.
Yes.
What are you doing, Alexa?
Well, I said there was going to be
going to the technical workshop.
A technical workshop first. There's like arrange a 9 o'clock meeting.
I can't hear you. Oh, actually now. I could hear you
Not
before. Now I can't hear you.
Not hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Johnny. It's be Alan.
Yeah.
Why does Alan always do that?
Yeah, I can hear Johnny.
Yeah. I'm going to have to rejoin, and then when I rejoin, my camera will stop working. So. I'll be right back.
That's okay, Alan.
Alan must pay for using souls as power to his computer.
It was worth it.
It's all right, Alan. We can remember what you look like. Your face is etched into our minds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even on a PC. I'm not even on a PC. Johnny, Do you want to talk to me, Johnny?
You're not on a PC. What is the window? Just an opaque portal to our lives.
Yeah, I'm just staring into a mirror.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the heretical of them all?
Lamb's blood runes on the fucking side of it.
Well,
In the next room, Alan's got a load of Gregorian monks that are just like standing there burning incense and going, "Oh, oh, oh."
They flay each other alive.
I've got to do things in my own way. So. Right.
What about
So,
the pig guards out of Star Wars? Or something else.
right. So, Alexa, what are you doing?
You're okay, mate.
You've got your day 4 power play. What are you up to, buddy?
I'm going to comes into one of the engineers and basically arrange a meeting. Well, basically, I want to speak to the head engineer guy if we can.
So you check the. Are you going to plug into one of the terminals, Johnny?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so you plug into one of the terminals.
I've got my beer. Right then. 1 minute. Operator.
Okay, so you plug into one of the terminals. So there you can find crew records within the cogitator systems readily. You don't need to make a test for that.
Uh-huh.
But with the engineers, none of the engineers are really listed in the same section as the other crew. And you can't find a comms channel to contact them. I mean, you can just go to engineering. You know where that is located on the ship.
Yeah. I'll do
the
that
other
then, I'll
thing,
shut up.
the other thing I was going to say is, with your time on melded to the ship, you've seen the servo skulls that float around. And one thing that you recall now that seemed a bit strange at the time, but now comes into more focus, is that you've not seen engineering through the eyes of the servo skulls before.
Right,
so you've not really seen inside engineering. You know where it is on ship, but you've never been inside. You've never seen the view from by the servo skulls.
Okay.
You're not sure that there are any servo skulls in there. So
Okay.
you can just head up to engineering and
Yep.
to speak to him if you like. But you recall
That'd be
Bodo
cool.
saying, he said something last night, and Bodo said that he couldn't get into engineering. He said that the engineers bragged that not even the Inquisitor could go in there without an invitation.
Okay. I can just hack into the system and open the doors.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, that's the plan. So
So are you gonna try and open the doors to engineering now, or are you gonna wait till you get there, or what's your how are you approaching this? There are
I'm gonna wait
two.
till I get there.
There are two main entrances to engineering. There's one large door on the port side and one on the starboard side.
Yeah. Okay. So none of them, vent anybody into space, do they?
None of the
Alright.
engineering's not linked to the airlocks at all. Really,
Excellent
it's quite far removed from the airlocks.
Okay. So are there not really much records of these engineers and the numbers of them or anything like that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You've seen quite a few of them around on, they do go out from engineering because they
Okay.
work all over the ship. And you see these guys heavily involved with the ship repairs that are going on,
Yeah.
reporting the Technomancer.
Okay.
But yeah, you've no idea as to their numbers.
How many comes into the Technomancer?
Yeah, I will not be doing the Technomancer's voice. He talks
That's
to you
fine.
via machine cant, and he sounds a lot
Okay.
nicer when he does this. Instead of using his human voice.
His human voice is awful. It sounds like a Dalek.
You'll see. That's exactly what I'm going for.
That's what I thought you were going for. I was like, he's a total Dalek. Like,
So, yeah, the Technomancer, he responds to you angrily. He says that he's busy at the moment. What do you want?
I want to arrange a meeting with the lead engineer on the ship to discuss projects.
And the Technomancer says to you, well, he basically says quite curtly that he doesn't have a relationship with Lord Benny at all.
Okay.
So that he basically says in short term that you're on your own here.
Okay.
And he breaks the call.
Dick. Right. So what I'm going to do
The
is
Technomancer is a bit of a penis.
I'm going to pay a surprise visit. I think it was like I asked Bodo to meet me at the workshop at 9 o'clock.
You did?
I'm just speaking in my normal voice. So before that, because I get to the workshop probably about, I don't know, 6:30, or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you normally, you get up, let's say a few hours before everyone else.
Spend a bit more time, bit of time meditating whilst I make which her form of meditation is basically, crafting stuff. So and that allows her to think and stuff as well. So it's like she's going to continue on the chain axe whilst thinking about the projects that lined up in front of her. She's got a lot of projects.
Huh?
She needs a lot of help with them.
She
The main
does
one
indeed.
being the server program.
Mhm.
And so basically we need to break down this sort of veil of secrecy that surrounds the engineers and get them working with the rest of the crew, or the rest of the elements on the ship. So, first, the time leading up to the workshop, I'm going to work on the chain axe more.
Okay.
I've put quite a few hours into it now, haven't I? So,
You have indeed. So, Alexa, if you look in the handouts, or you don't have to at this stage, but in the handouts there's a section of all the jobs you've done. There's also, I've done a thing for the chain axe itself, which shows you its progress. So it's in the handouts crafting section. There's a file called Alexa Works that is your summary, and then there's, I think there's one called Items. And this is not just for you, it's for any other crafters, but most of the characters don't craft very much. So for example, Cletus's moonshine batch is in here as well, but most of the stuff in here is for you. So in a minute you've got the machine gun, the great chain axe, and then the harpoon cannon, which has actually been lost. So looking at the chain axe, let's have a look. So you've put quite a lot of hours. It's a big job this as well, but you have put quite a lot of hours in. So at the minute you're working on manufacturing of the chain axe, so you could put another. At the minute you've got another 15 hours to put into this. You could put say another 3 hours or so before you're expecting to see Bodo.
I'll do that.
Okay, so I'd like you to make an armor smith roll. First of all, I'd like you to make a D3 roll. This is the number of re-rolls you get per session on intelligence-based tests. And then I'd like you to make a test at an armor smith test at +10 for the forge.
Get 1 today. Okay, so, and then armor smith. Alexa 5.0. Bear with me.
Alexa
I'm trying
5.0.
it.
No,
There we go. Okay, here we go. Right. So, I'm going to. So it's armor smith, isn't it? Armorer.
Yeah, I think
plus
it's
10.
armor smith. +10.
Okay.
Okay, so your work goes well as usual. As you're working, you see around the workshop, Alexa, there are piles and piles of drachma, the currency from Orpheus 4, which you left some time ago. But yeah, there are piles. The workshop looks quite messy with all these drachma everywhere.
I need to get them into the. I need to get somebody assigned to smelting them down. So I've got a new. I've got somebody
You do have
handy.
you've got a so you've got a new recruit which the Technomancer assigned to you. He's a tech adept, but he's perhaps more suited to work with cogitators. That's where he specialises, but he's still, you still could be put to a variety of different jobs.
Okay.
So let's have a let me get his stats up. Let's see what he can do.
Can I get him to? Is there some sort of smelting? There's obviously a smelting device, or
Yeah, there's a
I don't
forge,
know
yeah.
There's a forge. That's the one.
Yeah, of course.
Is there any way that he can tap into that and calibrate it to smelt it to the guidelines that I give him?
I mean, he's okay. So this guy, his name's Dieter Malek, and he can smith. All of your colleagues that have been assigned to are in a handout as well. Which is in NPC followers.
Okay.
And this guy can smith. Ironically, he's not as good a smith as Ungrout, but we'll see how he performs. Let's see how he performs in reality. So if you want, you can set him to smelting down Drakmar today. If you want to do that.
Today, just as
of course.
Just as an easy break-in.
Yeah, okay. And Dieter, he doesn't like to talk using his voice. He prefers to communicate using binary cant.
That's absolutely fine.
So I'd like you to make a smithing roll for Dieter, which is I'd like you to roll a D100. So his base stat is 30, and he's got plus 10 for the workshop. So you're looking at 40 or less. Okay. So I mean, you occasionally you keep an eye on him. He's doing a better job than Ungrout, but you're still not completely happy with his efficiency. But he does get to work, and he seems to be doing okay. But Ungrout made a real bodge of the work, and that's why he had to go, Alexa. That's why he had to go, and that's why you're not going to see him ever again. But yeah, so Dieter does a better job.
Good.
So yeah, and you leave him to that. So he'll be working on that during the day.
No problem at all. So that's him occupied.
Uh-huh.
Tidying up
So
that.
you work on the chain axe, and then Bodo turns up, and he smiles at you readily and comes and talks to you.
Okay, and I'll say good morning.
Good morning. Had a great night last night, Alexa.
Me too. Should do it again sometime.
Yeah. What are we? So we're going to see the engineers today. Did you say?
Yes. It's an unusual second date, and she's going to put her hands up like there. Let's go in inverted commas. She's trying to use her social skills chip, but it's malfunctioning horrifically. So she deactivates that and goes, "Yes, follow me." So I'm going to basically just walk with him. I'm not going to just gestures for him to follow. Hey, so I know where it is due to being accessing the ship, don't I? So
yeah. And there's also a ship's map that's readily available for everyone. But yeah, it's towards the aft of the ship.
So I'm going to head that way.
Where the engines are.
And just make some small talk.
Okay, you and Bodo enjoy some small talk. He does ask you on the way, and I like how Hayden's already gone here. But he does say to you, Alexa, I have to wonder, where are we going to get the people for these servitors? I was going to ask this, totally independent of you, Hayden, by the way. I'm glad that you got there first.
Yeah, well,
where are we going to get the people for these servitors?
There's I'm formulating. We are going to work alongside Medbay, and anybody that's obviously, fortunately, is longer alive. Again.
Well, I have to remind you that to start with, you brought a load of corpses from the corpse dump.
Oh yeah.
And the technomancer got very angry with you because servitors use live bodies. Sometimes in the Imperium, sometimes they're grown in vats. Sometimes they're prisoners who are being punished for their crimes. But they're not. It's not dead bodies. It's live people that you need.
Right. That was a learning.
Sometimes they're orphans.
Yeah, that was a learning curve. Sure we can. Sure we can. Some bodies. I will speak to the rest of the the rest of cell 54, is it? 53?
Cell 53. Cell 54 is the
53.
ones with the mutants in.
53 and see what they can help me with. I'm not doing the electrolytes because I'm trying
That's
to map
fine.
presence at the same time.
Johnny, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm so proud of you for not metagaming right now.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the temptation would be too much. But
Yeah. Is that sarcasm? I don't know.
no, it's genuine. I honestly thought you'd
Right.
say something like, "Oh, it's all right, you know. I'm sure fucking Arnie's got a load of people he wants to send us."
I've learned to circumvent the metagaming with delayed meta.
Yeah, delayed meta is great. It's the best kind of meta.
He's
Diet meta.
he's playing the system, Dave. He's adapting.
It's
This is
come
the-
so far since the meta sandwich, Alan.
I'm
Okay.
trying to learn. So yeah, I'm gonna make my way down to engineering with take my way down to engineering, and then I'm gonna when we get to the door, I'm gonna basically just try and tap into it.
Okay, so let me describe when you get there what you see. You see a huge circular door, and it's currently closed. And on the outside of the door, you see 4 engineers. Now, just give me a second. I just want to reload a file, which I'd shut down when I restart my computer. Okay, so there's 2 engineers stood on either side of this doorway, and they're dressed in these vulcanized rubber suits, which are supplemented with metal armor sections. And they're equipped with modified shotguns. I'd like you to make an armor smith roll, please. They're also armed with truncheons, and one of the guards is scanning you with an auspex.
I'll reroll that.
Okay. So you've got 3 rerolls, so you could use that. 2 of the engineers' faces are obscured by spherical helmets with reflective black glass inset into the front of them. And 2 of them, you can see their faces.
Okay, as they're scanning me into as well.
Hold, Johnny! Just wait, let me give a spiel and then tell me what you're going to do, okay? So, firstly, you made a successful armor smith roll, right? Is that right? Didn't see a roll. Yeah, so you see that these shotguns, they're not routine specification. And you see that the modifications on them seem to allow for larger custom shells. And you think that the shells that they're using are non-routine, be that, you know, chemicals or acid or flame or something.
Excellent.
So they're using kind of modified shotguns with specialist ammo, you believe. You know, the faces of the engineers that you do see, they seem typical for the engineers, typical of their type. They have ugly faces, lacking attractive symmetry or grace, and their eyes seem a little too far apart. Their stares are cold and unblinking, and one has thinning hair while the other one has a receding chin and wrinkles in the side of his neck. And I'd like to show you a picture of the engineer who clocks you. And so he's the one who's scanning you with an auspex.
Hang on a second.
That's messed up.
Is this more AI generated artwork, Alan?
All I use it for is generating engineers.
Wow. The guy.
Wow. Say like soulless mob builder.
Just
Well,
gonna
I use a variety of prompts, and I also feed in pictures. And a lot of what I make is rubbish, but some of it is golden.
It's Bob the Builder that has been through the warp.
Oh dear. But I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of
all the
fun.
wives' tape and labels.
Oh no, you're in trouble now, Johnny. At the minute, I've got a fucking. I'm in that weird phase where like there's all this food in the fridge is
There's more in
full,
there.
I can't eat any of it. It's like you can't eat that cheese. It's for Christmas.
Hold my wrapping.
No. It's like I've got a fucking fuck ton of cheese, and it's like I had to ask Nicole to get me some more cheese.
It looks black, doesn't it? No, it's like black and blue and gold.
So that, you know, so I wouldn't eat the
I
Christmas
haven't.
cheese.
Not amazing.
I
Oh, it's
haven't. I
quite
haven't
not
done that yet, Al. I'm gonna go.
Excited.
Tomorrow's my last day off, and I'm gonna go to Morrison's, and I'm gonna get a load of Christmas beer. I'm gonna get myself a bottle of whiskey. I'm gonna finish off my shopping, and I'm gonna get myself a load of cheese because I have this little Christmas tradition, and I don't know if I've ever told you about this. But I spend a lot of my Christmas on my own because I work shifts.
Yeah.
And so what I tend to do is I take Leanne to her mum's or her dad's, and I might go see them, and I might go to my parents. But I tend to spend a lot of my Christmas on my own. So what I tend to do is I get in from work, I have a few beers, I have a few whiskies, I eat a load of cheese, I get the cat, and we sit and watch Die Hard together. And that's what we do every.
Dave likes to watch
Christmas
Die Hard,
tradition.
which is awesome.
Yeah. And that's my Christmas. But this year it's Christmas Eve. I'm doing that. I think.
Traditions.
I'm going to sit.
Sure.
Yeah, they are. But it's my Christmas tradition. It's not a family one. It doesn't involve anyone but me and the cat.
Cool.
And we sit feet up in this dressing gown. She lays out on my legs. I wrap her up in my dressing gown, and we watch Die Hard and get drunk, and we love it.
Cool.
But it's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls from Nakatomi Plaza.
That just
And I'm
makes
usually
Christmas.
nicely sozzled by that point.
He's such a good bad guy, Alan Rickman. So good.
Yeah.
We say a little
wonderful.
bit typecast as such, but because he was ace at it. Watched
He was a very good bad guy.
It was. I watched Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He's fantastic in that.
Sure.
Really hams it up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
He
he's
does.
really camping that, but it's fantastic. Yeah,
Incredible, absolutely incredible performance. And then another one that I saw, I was watching with Jacob the other day, is Hook. Dustin Hoffman in Hook.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god, like
That's-
he is
yeah.
amazing, absolutely amazing. Like
Yeah.
on panto bad guy, you know what I mean? Just incredible, absolutely incredible. Yeah, I love anything like that. I love it when the actors ham it up and they know they're playing a cheesy bad guy and they just go with it, and it's
Just embrace it. Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
it's like Jack Nicholson in Batman.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
I've not seen that in
he's-
a long
yeah.
one.
He's not the best. He's not the best Joker, but he's fantastic as Joker.
He is
He's
fantastic,
fucking
yeah.
perfect.
He is.
Yeah.
He was brilliant in that.
Yeah, he was very good.
And Danny
Okay.
DeVito was Penguin as well.
Oh,
Yeah, both of them. They both like dance the fine line between hilariously camp and a little bit terrifying.
Yeah,
It works really well. Yeah.
when he's just eating that raw fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's awful. Yeah, that's a
It is,
fucking
yeah.
disgusting bit. Yeah.
Was that Danny DeVito who played the Penguin?
Penguin. Yeah. He's
Yeah,
really
I
good in it.
Yeah, it's
Was
kind
it?
of I don't know. It's looking a bit dated in the sense now that I think he gets caught out or something by slagging off his, his voters or something like that. And I think in today's era of fake news,
Yeah,
Trump
it
would
don't
do
play out.
literally anything,
Yeah.
and they'd be worshipping him. So
That was the
it's
funny
like-
thing about Trump, wasn't it? He said I could walk down Main Street and murder someone and get away with it, and my ratings would increase. And he was fucking right. He was absolutely right.
So yeah, so that's a bit, in that regard.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Yeah, it's very
has made-
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we can go back. Just give me a sec.
Okay.
Just gonna have a hack.
Enjoy yourself. Al.
I hope you've taken plenty of drugs, Alan. And by that I mean legal ones.
The spittoon, Al. Get ready. Get ready.
My biggest fear, and I don't know if I've ever said this out loud before to anyone, but one of my biggest fears is whenever I get a cold, it lasts me about 2 weeks, and I am a firm believer in Lemsip. I believe Lemsip. It doesn't help. It doesn't fix the cure. It doesn't fix the cold, but it helps you get through. It helps you behave more normally. And one of my biggest fear is becoming addicted to Lemsip. Honestly, I have this irrational fear. Every time I get a cold, I get Lemsip, and then I go, "Oh, I hope this isn't the packet that finally gets me addicted."
You stir it.
I know,
You stir it into hot water, or do you snort it, Dave? This is the.
when I was at
I just need
university, there was
You should always You should always heat your lens tip in a spoon and inject it.
Yeah, I've just got this
into
image
your-
of Dave hitting it in a spoon.
That's the way I. That's the way I do lens tip.
I just get the box. I get the
Well,
box
you
with
don't.
10 sachets and crush it up and just swallow it whole.
I freebase lens tip.
Lemon sandwich.
What's really funny about this is this is a weird phobia I've had for a long time. That I like Lemsip, and I'm genuinely scared that I could become addicted to it. And then over the past 3 years with COVID and everything, I've hardly had a cold, and it's been really great. And then I got a cold the other week, and I went to work and I bought some Lemsip, and my team leader had a cold as well. I went, I've got some Lemsip if you want, and he turned to me and went, oh, I love Lemsip. I could drink it all the time. And I just went, oh no, there's another one.
Everybody's shooting up Lemsip at the steelworks, like.
Yeah,
It's the seedy underside of the world.
it's always been rife with drug abuse, but no one knew it was just Lemsip and paracetamol. Sorry, Alan, carry on, please.
No worries, it's all good. I'm in no rush
Great.
tonight because I can barely talk. So, so the other thing you see as you approach the entrance to engineering is a couple of gun servitors. And
When they
these,
get there.
so the gun servitors, they put you in a mind of dogs somehow, even though they're not dogs. They look like they're on all fours, and they've got kind of twin auto guns or something similar, as in like two sets of linked twin auto guns. So they are packing a bit of heat. The guards to engineering, and one of them does clock you, the one with the Auspex, and that's the one that you can see right now on the screen. What are you doing?
We're walking forward. I'm just going to gesture for Bayou to be still. I'm going to walk forward and go. Just say, wait here. And I'm going to go to one of these guards and just magnanimously say, I'm here on behalf of the ship. I need to speak to your leader.
And the engineer looks you one down, and you see also, as you walk away from Bodo, you see Bodo's hand. It looks like he's going into his jacket, and you suspect he's going for a concealed pistol there. But he's not drawing or anything, but he looks like he's ready. He looks like he's. You can see the tension in him.
I'm just going to put a hand on his on his chest, on his shoulder, and give a light squeeze and go. It's okay.
So you go up to the door of engineering. You say you're on the business of the ship, and you're here to see the leader of the engineers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And the engineer, he says, "What doing?" He says, "No one sees Benny without an invitation. Not even the Lord Inquisitor strolls up to engineering."
Nobody is a wizard. Nobody, not how.
Thanks, James. Don't make me laugh. I've got a cough.
No, make him laugh. He'll get it out of his system quicker.
Oh, dear.
No, that's evil. Johnny.
Get what's out of my system, Johnny?
The Lemsip. Get that Lemsip down.
The fifth day of Christmas, the Emperor gave to Alan a plague deep inside his lungs.
Nurgle is with me. At least for now. So, what are you saying to the engineer?
I'll just say I have an invite.
Okay, and he says, "Well, I haven't been informed of this." And he checks a data pad. He looks for it. He says, "No, your name's not down. You're not coming.
You're not coming in."
So he says, "Benny isn't seeing anyone. Benny's he's having some alone time. He's meditating." So we're devolving now, aren't we? We're devolving.
Is there any way I could remotely access that data pad and just that data pad and then just change the details?
Possibly. It might look quite suspicious if your name just appears on this list.
That's fine.
Well, it's actually no. I'm not sure. You don't have. Well, you do have security, but that's kind of for
Yeah.
breaking into doors. But I think for hacking, it's more. I think there's another advanced skill that you haven't had got yet.
Yeah.
Maybe if you spent your experience points, you might be further along this road.
You
But
know,
you don't- you don't.
it's a bird.
No, but honestly, I think you're too low level to get up to these particular ones. But there are certain skills that you can go for that would help in this manner. And it also, one of your tech adepts, Dieter, the new one, he's quite good at this sort of thing, working with computers, hacking. That's something that he's very good at. But I don't think Alex has these skills yet, but you could get them in the future. So maybe that's not the right approach.
I'm just trying to think what I can go like. I mean, could we just kill them all? No,
Yeah,
that's a bad idea.
I mean, you could try and attack them, but this would be open warfare on the ship, which is
Yeah,
not
that's not
not advised. It's not advised, Alexa.
advise.
Oh no.
I'm going to say, when we come in, basically to do what goes on down here, and to try and liaise and get the different parts of the ship working together.
And he says, "This is the domain of the engineers. You know, no one comes in here without an invitation. You can't just stroll in here and wander around and have a look. No, that's out of the question. And you're getting quite a brusque, he's dealing with you quite brusquely, and you can sense that he's not used to people doing what you're doing, and just walking in and asking to be let in, just like that. And you see one of the gun servitors bristles.
Okay. Okay. Can I not have any way of remotely accessing the servitor, do I?
No. I mean, it's like I said, I don't think you can like remotely hack into these guys yet. So you're not at that level where you can do that, so I don't think you can do that at this stage, Johnny.
Give us a clue. I've got no idea.
Well,
Sure,
I don't know, John. If you've not got an idea, I mean, the idea that you had about hacking him, that's not a bad idea, but it's just not something that Alexa could do. You could always maybe go back and use the guy that you do have who's skilled in that area. So that's not a bad idea in itself.
Yeah.
It's just that Alexa can't do it here right now, right? Or or maybe and the other thing is, I don't want to tell you how to to solve any problem. If you can't think of a way between you guys how to solve them, then I don't necessarily want to just tell you how to do everything. So.
I'm not there, so I'm not going to metagame and give you my ideas.
Thanks, Dave, for not metagaming. But maybe this sort of thing that you could discuss as a group at the end of a day, and then maybe between you could come up with a solution. But what I don't want to do is just say, "Oh, what you should do is this," and then because that's not a game, and that's not how I want to run my game. So.
Okay. Anyway, I could access the ship and get the ship to say something to them over an announcer or something like that.
Okay, so you've got a secret room that you discovered last session, and there you can go and you can meld with the ship in complete peace, and you have a lot of options there. You can talk to the ship, you can access ship systems, you've got a lot of control over the ship. So if you want to talk with the ship, that's a good idea. You could go and do that.
I've got Bodo with me.
You do have Bodo. I mean, Bodo doesn't know about this secret room. And he doesn't know the extent to which you meld with a ship. So.
Okay. I'm stumped at the minute. Can you come back to me later?
Yeah. Well, what you can do, Johnny, if you want to go back and do a bit of crafting for the rest of your day, you can at the end of every day, I'm going to bring you guys together to talk, and then you can maybe brainstorm or what have you. But just because you've run up to a bit of a dead end now, they just don't. It sounds like they don't even let the Inquisitor. It sounds like doesn't get a free pass to come into engineering. So
it sounds like heresy to me.
Heresy on board the Malevolence? No, I won't have it.
They should, maybe I should just see if I can get some stormtroopers to come down there with me, and just so when they have a bit of a bristle, like I can have a bit of a bristle too, and just like let me in, or I'll kill you all and vent you into space.
Force is definitely the way to go in all aspects of this. Yep.
Okay. So it sounds like you're just going to put that one on pause for now.
Yeah, I'm pausing that.
So what would you like to spend the rest of your day? You got it? Okay. And Bodo tells you. Bodo says to you. Bodo says, "I had the same issue. They wouldn't speak to. I couldn't get in. I don't know how we're meant to deal with these guys. I just don't like the engineers very much." And he looks at the one with a fucked up face. He says, "Something off about that one."
Yeah, he's weird. I'm just gonna say that, and then I'm just gonna turn around and just get Bodo by the hand, I think, and then just walk off with him back to. Well, anyway, you can help me with this project I'm working on. So I'm gonna get Bodo to come with me. Today.
Okay, so you've got perhaps another 8 hours or so to play with today.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Carry on working on the act, or
yeah, no, I'm gonna try and come into get the different trying to arrange a meeting between the different parts of the ship and different people that we need to make this servitor thing work.
yeah, well, the herder where you're at, Johnny, with that one, you've got the Technomancer. He's kind of on board with you. You've got the Doctor on board, or Bodo has. Yeah. The person you need to get on board is Lord Benny, the chief of the engineers. And at the minute you're struggling to even get into engineering at all.
Is there any way we can? Is there any way we can request an audience with him?
Yeah, I say you don't have any means of contacting him. You just been up to the front door and they turned you aside. So at the minute you've reached a bit of a dead end there.
Are there any airlocks nearby that door?
No. Well, let's bring up the map and have a look. Are you trying to? I mean, the doors were closed as well. So if you went venting, you'd maybe only vent the guys who are outside.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. That's the best way to get the engineers on board, by the way, is by venting them to space.
Dave knows. So, Dave has an answer for this, and he's so frustrated that
he is, isn't he? He's frustrated because
I love it, and I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay.
I like seeing Dave have something on the tip of his tongue.
I'm frustrated for you, Johnny.
Okay, there are two. To answer your questions, Johnny, there are two airlocks towards the aft of the ship. But if you vented them, you'd be venting, you'd be venting about a third of the ship. And you're not guaranteed to get the engineers. You get all the cooks.
Not guaranteed to get.
You get all the stormtroopers. You've got the port barracks back there, the starboard barracks. You've got the med bay. It's just, this is not a very clever way to deal with this problem, Johnny. By opening up a third of the ship to space, it's not wise, Johnny.
Yeah, dismiss that idea immediately.
Okay.
She just did the math, and it was. Yeah, didn't make a lot of sense.
Not every problem can be solved by venting the ship to space, Alexa.
No, and this
you realise some problems require a scalpel, others a hammer.
Yeah.
Others the cold embrace of vacuum of space.
Is there any way I want to investigate tap into the ship? Just on what backup lights. I'm just going to try and access the ship. I'm going to see if there's any way we can sort of infiltrate engineering, if there's any vents and stuff we can sneak through and try and sneak in there, and then I'm gonna.
Okay, so you link up with the ship, and as you do so, you can see that the engineering seems to be fairly well locked down. You don't think that going in through the vents or anything like that is going to be particularly effective. It seems to be almost like a contained area within the ship.
Most frustrating. I've got no. You've actually got me stumped tonight. I think I've suffered I've been doing a bit of Christmas shopping today, and I've been up since 4, so I'm a bit brain
Johnny,
dead.
you don't have to solve every problem straight away, Johnny. You can move on from now. Maybe do a bit of crafting, and then maybe talk with your allies, or maybe come at it from a different way on another day. You know, you don't have to solve every problem now.
I think I'll do that because like I'm not too sure today.
Okay. So, what do you want to do? You've got about 8 hours of power play left to do, Johnny.
Spend it crafting, but I'll spend it and I'll get Bodo to give me a hand as well with that.
Okay, so he's going to give you a bit of an assist. Let's have a look.
I'm going to sort of tutor him as well a little bit, get him to help, but also tutor him a little bit.
Okay. Well, I mean, you start to realise that Bodo's, he's quite adept himself.
Yeah.
But there's always something you can learn. He can learn from you, and you can learn from him. So you put another 8 hours towards the chain axe. You've already rolled, so I'll add a +10 on that for Bodo's help as well. Let me just.
How's it looking at the moment?
Okay, so the head of the axe is really coming along. I'm just going to rejoin the roll 20 because it's flipped out for me. Excuse me, but yeah. So the actual the head of the axe is really starting to take shape, and overall, the work that you've been doing. It's been going excellent. You think? You're doing some of your best work to date. It's going to be a great axe.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let me just edit get back into that handout. And you put another 8 hours towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, if you're alright with Johnny, I'd like to move on to Dave, who's the last player to do.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. So Dave, your day 4 power play.
Yep.
Arnold and Nathaniel head off. Alexa isn't even there. There's no sign of Kara. You haven't seen her in a while, actually. And Yarn heads off to get his tattoos done. Early on in the day, you receive a comms from Laura, and she says to you, first of all, she asks whether you've seen the doctor yet.
Can I respond?
Yeah, of course you can.
No, I have not, but I took your advice last night. I'm going to see him this morning.
Oh, good. There was something I wanted to tell you. Remember that deal that we made? You asked me whether I would keep you out of trouble.
Yes, if you could.
Yes. Well, there was something that's occurred to me. It's the Master of Coin, Cassandor. Don't let him see you with your face in the condition it currently is. He doesn't like people fighting. He doesn't like violence at all. I have seen him demote staff before, based on fighting and squabbling. So I really don't think he'd like to see you as you are. So I would steer clear of him if you can, and that shouldn't be a problem. But just to warn you.
What is he? Some sort of limp-wristed fancy man who's scared of a bit of a punch-up? Is that what he is, this Cassandor? I haven't actually met Cassandor, have I?
No, you did. I think you met him long ago. This is when we first introduced Laura.
I did, yeah.
And what happened was he was talking about his trade contract that he'd won. And then Laura corrected him and said, actually, the planet's been, or rather, the Changa city's been destroyed by the orcs. And then he realised that his trade contract had fell through somewhat, and that he'd actually lost a fuck ton of money.
I remember.
That was perhaps the first time you'd ever been introduced to him, but you haven't spent much time with him.
So what I'm going to say then is, what is he? Some sort of limp-wristed trader, no backbone, not the sort of person to, be able to handle himself in a round of fisting. I'm going to stop bullshitting you, Laura, because you see right through me. Okay, I'll try and stay out of his way, but you might have to run some interference for me if he summons me.
And she says, understood. But no, I mean, Cassandor was brilliant. very intelligent man, and he's taught me a great deal. And I prefer if you didn't speak ill of him. But no, he doesn't like violence. He doesn't like physical people, and his skills are in other areas. So not everyone is built for fighting. You see.
Well, I can appreciate that, Laura. Yeah, I'm sure you understand that. I too am not particularly that way inclined. However, like I said to you last night, I am trying to rectify that. Not necessarily because I want to, but more out of necessity. But yes, I'll stay clear of Mr. Cassandor. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that was it. It just occurred to me just to warn you. Like I say, I'll try and keep you out of trouble as per our agreement.
Thank you very much, Laura. Much appreciated.
You get the impression she's smiling on the other end of the comms, but
While I'm on with you, while I'm on with you, are you doing?
are you all right?
Christ, Jesus, what's happening? I don't know. Don't worry about it. Do you need anything? Jeeves,
do you need me to call for the doctor, for the nurses? Do you need medical attention? Are you okay?
No, I'm on my way there right now. I don't know what that was, Laura. That was very bizarre. It was like, have you ever seen a space monkey cat when it's bringing up a hairball? I felt a bit like that. Anyway, but forget that. Are you doing anything this? No. Right. Oh. I don't. Forgive me, Laura. I'm going to start that sentence. Are you all right? Do you need anything today? Jeeves is loitering around if you need any menial tasks performing.
And she says, "Oh, I'm sure I could put Jeeves to work if he's free."
Well, I'll send him your way. I'm going to be doing a bit more training today after I've seen the doctor, and this evening I'm free if you wanted to, No, forget that. That's not working. That's quite disturbing. Anyway, no, I'll send Jeeves your way. Have you given any more thought to my suggestion of a shindig in the Crow?
Which is, I think it's a good idea, but really I haven't spoken to her. This is really early in the morning, so not much time has passed since you spoke about it.
Yep.
And she says to you, leave it with me, and I think it's a good idea. I'll put the word around.
Right. Okay. Well, I have a little bit of credit with the shadier dealings on the ship, shall we say? So, if there's anything a little bit under the counter that we could do with, maybe I can hook us up. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. I'm saying wink, wink because you can't see my face.
There's a slightly awkward silence for a moment. She says, "Okay, thank you, and yes, it's fine. I don't think I need anything, but I'll let you know if I do."
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, if that's everything, Laura, unless tonight you're free from... No, stop! I best be going. Good day!
Okay. The comms ends.
Quintius is just going to slap himself in the face a few times.
Okay.
And then go, "Fuck is wrong with you, Quint?" And then off he goes.
Oh dear. There's a special kind of cringe that you're putting us through, Dave. And you're it's a real delight. Well done. You head to the training grounds, and you see there's a bunch of Orpheans in there, and they're being put through their paces by Arnold. Are you doing a bit of training today, or did you want to interact with any of these
Absolutely.
guys?
No, the poor cunts are in for it. I don't want to be anywhere near Arnie today.
No.
He's given me a right kick in, and I tried to give him
Oh, yeah,
my best back, but it wasn't very good.
I need to say is that you have been aching like fuck today.
I imagine
You feel like you've gone 10 rounds with Arnold Stormslinger.
Yes, and that was the intention. No, I'm basically going to spend most of the day with static training mannequins, practicing with my sword and pistol, doing the whole, very nimble dancing around, waving of the sword, pointing my pistol and yelling bang. Just generally
weapon fighting, right?
Yeah, basically practicing fighting with two weapons. Very light compared to yesterday of proper brawling with Arnie. This is more about finesse today, whereas yesterday was about, getting hit.
Okay. All right, good stuff then. And I'd like you please to make a weapon skill roll. This is for how your power play goes.
Oh, where's my character sheet gone?
A weapon skill roll, please.
Weapon skill. Just a second. My character sheet has shut itself down. There we go. Weapon skill. Hang on. My laptop's just crawled to a halt.
No worries.
Yeah, God, what is it doing? There we go. Okay, weapon skill is bang on a pass. Exactly, pass.
Okay, so that's you get 1 degree for free, so that's 2 degrees. 2 points towards this.
Okay.
Let me have a look. So there. And where are we? Excuse me. Hang on a sec. Just doing a bit of admin. Arnold, while I'm here, you did in the last session. I'm getting a bit of feedback. I don't know who from. It's from.
It might be from me.
I think it's from you, Dave. So in the last session, A. Hayden, you put 4 degrees of success or 4 points into disarm, and at the end of the last session, you wasn't sure whether that's what you wanted to do, and I gave you the option of rethinking what you wanted to do and putting it into something different. I don't know if you recall that or if you know, but anyway, so the points that you put into disarm last session, power play, you can change around if you if you want. So again, you can have a think about that and you can retcon it as you like.
Yeah, Hayden, I don't want to influence you or try and metagame anyway, but disarm is incredibly useful if you think about it.
Uh-huh.
Against a guy with a knife, it's fucking meaningless. Against a guy with a chainsaw, it's not bad. But against a guy with a really brutal, insane weapon in his hands, disarm could be really handy.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just up to you. Like, say you wasn't sure at the end of last session whether you wanted that or not, and I gave you the option of rethinking it if you weren't happy with that choice. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll stick with it.
So at the end of the day, you've all been working on your various things on power play. Yarn, your tattoo's gone up to +3 defense against the Mousema from I think it's on +2 at the minute. So that's, and now it's gone along your arm, and it started to work onto your chest as well. So it started to go onto the shoulder, onto your your pectorals, and around about the shoulder blade, and so he started to work on your body as well. Okay, and he's doing some excellent work. At the end of the day, you all get back together in your chamber, and you have the opportunity, if you wish, to have a little role play with each other, have a natter, or and it's up to you. Just a bit of time, not doing power play, just with each other. So, perhaps if you want to take that opportunity, you're welcome to it.
Yeah, I'd like to do a bit, not for hours, but I'd like to do a bit of role play if everyone else would.
Yeah.
Because I know.
I see the.
What did you want to do, Jan?
Didn't they want to see me?
Oh yeah, they did this evening. But I mean, you can have like I say, what I want to do at the minute, because how this session or how the game's been going is you all have these separate time slots for the most part. So I want to give everyone the opportunity, to just have a interaction with each other in a like a group setting. You know what I mean? As in, so because otherwise we have like 4 separate turns and everyone's on their own all the way through the game. And I just want to give you guys the opportunity to talk to each other. You can do that bit. Your meeting will happen later, and we will do that, Yarn. I want to give you the opportunity to talk to each other, and if you wanted to, just do a bit of role play as a group rather than as individuals. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I'd like to try and requisition a teleport scrambler.
A teleport scrambler.
Yeah.
Where do you think you're gonna? I mean, does Yarn? have you got tech use, anything like that? Is this something that Yarn would know about, do you think? And where do you think you might get one on board? It's
well,
if he does know about it, it's a highly advanced.
Let's scramble teleport. What do they call them? There is
So you're worried about the other Inquisitor teleporting on and off the ship because the shields are up, and you can't teleport through the shields. So if that's
I don't.
taken off a ship.
I don't think any of us, except maybe Alexa, would even know what teleportariums were and how they worked.
No, I mean you know a little bit about it because you've used one, right?
I don't know.
Yes. So, I mean,
But he also
you have
used the teleport Homer, didn't he? Inside.
He gave a teleport. How did he do it? I think it was his interrogator, Deadeye James Johnson, had a teleport Homer that he used to bring you up to the ship. Now, out of character, you can't teleport through the shields, the warp shields, warp field. What is it? What they call void shields?
Gellerfield.
Yeah, I mean the Gellerfield or the void field. I think they're like a protective bubble around the ship.
Yeah.
And that's why he's not just teleported in with the Grey Knights already and gone to town. So you can't teleport through void shields. So you're safe from being plucked from the ship, as far as you're aware. But Yarn's a primitive man. He's from a feral world. He doesn't know everything that James knows.
Yeah, I've seen the teleport Homer.
Yeah. So, but as for a teleport
rationale, there's probably something that would stop a teleport as well.
Yeah. So that's the sort of thing that you might want to. But even Alexa, who's the best place, still might struggle with this sort of information. And Alexa's the best place. Maybe it's something you could ask Alexa, and then she might consult her tech use skill. That's
okay. No worries.
I don't think it's something that a primitive shaman from.
And it's no worries.
Yeah, just to just not. I'm not trying to metagame or anything, but what we all need to do, we all need to fucking stop being so insular, and remember that each of us has our own skills. We need to call on each other for help with stuff. It helps for the story as well as fucking progression.
Or maybe I could just go to the interrogator and get one.
And on that note, Johnny, if you're looking Roll20, I've sent you a message.
Right, okay.
I'm just going to feed the cats before they eat my face.
Yeah, let them eat your face, man. Let them evolve.
I'm just gonna get a drink. I'll be right back.
I'm not sure that eating faces is how you spur on eating.
I will.
No, that is exactly how it works. More protein in the diet. That's what happened with monkeys. Johnny, don't. And Hayden, this is something we all need to do. Let's all work together to fucking progress all this shit. Yeah, we're all good at certain things, but we can all call on each other to help with those things. Alexa, you can't get in somewhere because someone's being a cunt. Get Quintius in to out-cunt them. Someone's being a fucking brutal wanker who's tough as fuck. Get Arnie in to smack them up. This is what we need to do as a team.
This actually, me and you actually align on this because you use your orientation skills and all your charming skills with all these people while we're training and do your combat skills with me and also help vet these people with Arnie.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Quintius is not just a very good, personable guy who can talk to people. He's an expert liar. Literally, all my ability. You would not, if you haven't seen my character sheet, how good Quintius is at lying. I can bullshit my way in everywhere if I try hard enough. If you wanted Quintius to try and help you, Johnny, get into the engineers, I'm telling you as Dave, Quintius would try and bullshit his way in for you. I can't guarantee it'll work, but I would fucking do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I've told Alan this, and I think I might have told Hayden this. Quintius is a very weak little man, and he's shit scared, and he doesn't belong here. And so what Quintius is doing in power play is making himself important to everyone, so that they protect him and they keep him alive. He's a weasel. He's a snaky little fucker, but that doesn't mean he's not useful, does it?
No, not at all.
No, so that's how I'm playing Quintius. I'm basically trying to make everyone my friend, so that when I need a favour, I can call it in. So if Alexa came to Quintius and said, "Help me with this," Quintius would go, "Absolutely, of course I will."
I think Quintius and Arnie are good friends now. We've bonded in battle.
Yeah, there is a bit of bonding in battle going on, and Quintius is actually starting to be less of a dick, but he is a dick.
I think we've had an all right relationship.
Can everyone else hear Hayden all right?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Fuck Discord. I've not had you in it.
I don't get why you have this problem, Al. I never have this problem.
It's only me, and normally it's not as bad. It's like a one-off, but now it's
Very-
happened 3 times.
Does it ever happen to me? You ever leave?
1 minute.
No. It's
I don't
always...
think it's ever happened to you, James, either.
Alan?
It's happened to
Alan?
me once where I've lost someone.
Alan?
He's gone, Hayden. He's not going to...
Oh, okay.
Alan! Dan! Dan!
Don't do that. I get enough of that
Why
word.
Dan!
certain people like drop the connection and
Johnny got that.
I love it. It's such a good bit in that. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
I think we've all done it as well at some point. You know what I
Yeah, we definitely have.
Yeah, again, I don't know how long you've been silent to me, Hayden. So again, if you've, I'll only get it when I watch it back. You know what I mean? So, but you were silent for a good while. I can't remember the last time I heard you speak. So.
No, Hayden, to be fair, Hayden hasn't said much since his turn because...
Because he's a good boy. Eh?
'Cause he's a
not
good boy.
interrupting all the time.
No,
Not
not like
interjecting.
some of us.
Okay. So,
Sorry.
Hey, I've just been listening a lot tonight. I've been making notes and drawing on my little paper pad.
Listening is the greatest skill on the road to speaking. I'm gonna keep
just-
coming out with
I've
all
just
these
been
bullshit
doodling
fucking
random
sayings.
shit. Yeah.
one thing I want to know, Hayden,
Even drew my drink.
Deep, man.
Hayden, you didn't say you was going to bring back one of the cobs back to your room. Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Was that something you wanted to do? Are you sure you want to do that?
Let's make him and Jeeves fight. No, let's not do that.
That's quite funny.
For our amusement.
Dance for your pay.
I'll bring some
Talk to me, Hayden. Are you there, buddy?
bring some drachma down for him, like, you know what I mean? Because we can bet some drachma.
I didn't hear Hayden there either. Yeah, let's make them fight for their keep.
For drachma.
First blood.
For the valueless currency.
Alexa, this one didn't draw first blood. Space him. Are you there, Hayden?
That sounds great.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you again. So before you mentioned that you're going to bring back the orator, Sam Cobb, back to your room to meet Quintius. Is that something you wanted to do?
Not today,
Not
actually.
today. Okay, that's
Not today.
That's fine. No
But I'd
worries.
like to.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I just wanted to check that before, because we're in the room now, so I just wanted to check who's there. So G is
Yeah,
there.
not today. Oh, he's a very funny guy.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, so there's 4 of you sat around. Jeeves is there. You have your tea again. It's fish stew again.
Fish stew again.
Oh,
Salty.
this is getting. Oh, it's really nice and salty.
Oh,
Very
I mean,
lucky.
I'm not one to complain at repetition, but I mean, really, I am. But someone should have a word with whoever it is that's responsible for the rations that are brought aboard this ship.
That would be you.
Ah! Fuck, you're right. You caught me. But yes, you're right. Well,
Hey, I know King Cook, though. Maybe I can get him to whip us up something better.
I mean, there must be something better. I mean, I don't imagine the Inquisitor and his best chums eat the same shit every day. There must be some high-class shit somewhere on the
Yeah.
ship.
I don't see no wine bottle the price of a small starship on our table.
No.
You know, like the one he spilled.
Ah, yeah, that was not my finest moment. But no, let's not dwell on past mistakes, Arnold.
I wasn't dwelling on it. I was bringing it up because it's funny.
I mean, for you maybe, and for the rest of you, but not for me. That was an embarrassing social faux pas that I performed. Had I not been so high on life and a little
tipsy, that would never have happened. But that was
That's
the old
one of the
Quintius.
most hardest. Yeah, well, that's one of the most hardest situations in my life. He knocked it over, and I just wanted to burst out laughing from the bottom of my gut. I had to contain myself, really hold it in. Otherwise, everybody would be looking at me while the Quintus, everybody's pissed off because the wine's broken. It's so funny.
Yes, it's a troubling time, Arnold. Most troubling. So anyway, how are we all today, Arnold? What have you been up
Oh,
to?
good. Ah, well, I've been quite busy. I've been seeing Orpheans. I've met a lot of Orpheans. I've vetted about 20, I think.
I'll be
Yes.
honest, Arnold. I know. I was watching you from the corner of the gymnasium.
So
or
you're
whatever
hiding
it was.
away. Why did you say hello?
Oh no, I didn't want to cramp your style, and besides, I thought if you saw me there, you might think it was another excuse to punch me in the fucking face, and I didn't want that.
I've only been punching you softly, my friend. Your head,
Punching me
your head's still on
softly
your
with
shoulders,
his
isn't it?
song. No.
Your head's still on your shoulders, isn't it?
Yes, vaguely attached. I'll be honest, Arnold. I have not
did
had a
great.
beating like I had from you yesterday in a long time. In fact, the last time I was hit that hard, I was about 5 years old. But yes, I certainly learned a lesson or two from you yesterday. But no, today I thought I'd best keep out of your way because of the whole awkward, weird moment we had last night, where we may have had a little smooch.
Oh, don't worry. That's what we used to do all the time. All your best friends used to punch you in your face. Back where I came from, anyway.
I mean, that's not what I was talking about, Arnold. But but fair enough.
Oh, yeah, sorry, got sidetracked.
I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I understand.
Oh, what were we talking about again?
The moment we shared,
Which one was that?
where we met very close, eye to eye, and for a brief moment, in the heat of battle, our lips met.
I had to go silent.
I'm going to slap Barney on the shoulder and go, "Oh, fucking come on, Arnold. Grow a pair."
I'm going to look at you and eat my soup angrily for about 5 seconds, and then
Arnold,
once finished, smile and smile back at you again. Moment has passed.
I'm going to say to Arnold, understand this. You grew up in an environment where you learned to fight. I learned to spar in a very different way, in a more social environment, and sometimes you had to learn weapons, how to handle weapons. That's a poor choice of words. I shouldn't have said that. Sometimes you had to learn how to negotiate a minefield of social... No, this is not helping. Okay, let me start again. Sometimes, Arnold, you have to learn how to use a weapon you don't want to wield to disarm your opponent. That was what I was trying to do with you. Put you off guard, make you uncomfortable. I don't find you sexually attractive. Well, I mean, I find you vaguely sexually attractive, but not in a way that I would ever act upon, because I'm not that way inclined. But what I did when we were fighting, it was just a technique I'd heard of, where you disarm your opponents with shock and awe and tenderness.
You look, you've got a face left. Tell you, I nearly had a bit of tender cheek in my teeth. Remember that. I don't like that sort of shit, Quintius. Keep that to yourself.
No,
next
you
time.
don't. That was the point, Arnold. The point
Yes,
of it
but-
is that I know that about you. I got in your head. I knew I could use it to disarm you, and it did. It upset you. It worried you. It concerned you. It made you think about where you were and what you were doing and why you were doing it. Did you actually genuinely like men? Who knows? And in that moment of hesitation, if I'd have been a real villain, I could have stuck a knife in your ribs, but I didn't, because I'm a friend.
Bangs his fists on the table pretty hard. You know what I was thinking, Quintius? And he shouts this at you. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking how best to bite your fucking face off in this situation. You're lucky, you're my friend.
Oh,
And
I
he
am. I'm
starts
so very lucky, and I thank Frecky and that other one, the other wolf man. I thank them every day.
And he sits, he madly eats his soup.
I'm going to put my arm around Arnie's shoulders and go, Arnie. And I'm going to gesture into the nothingness before us towards the wall and go, Arnie, me and you come from very, very different backgrounds, very different worlds. And I'll be honest, a year ago, 6 months ago, I would never have thought of someone like you as my friend. In fact, I wouldn't have even thought of someone like you as my servant. But here we are, in this strange new world together, with Alexa and Yarn aboard this ship, with all this possibility laid before us. Everything is ours, Arnold. We can go anywhere. We can do whatever we want. We can be trailblazers. We can be pious warriors of the God Emperor. We can be absolute vile, seething heretics. No one can tell us what to do, Arnold. Do you understand the importance of this? We're free men.
This gives me an idea. I shall think on this. But as you say today, you was watching me. You've given me plenty to. What was that?
It's going into agents.
Arnie acknowledges this. And he smiles at you, Quintius. He nods. And then he says, I have a plan. You wait until I can fly a ship. Maybe we'll be free one day.
Clap him on the shoulder again and go, maybe we will, Arnold. Maybe we will. But until that time, I intend to have as much fucking fun as I can. Until I either die or... Wait, no, that's about it. Yep.
Friends until death then, yeah? And he offers you a warrior's grip. He says, friends till death.
And I take Arnie's warrior's grip in a very limp-wristed handshake.
And I crush your hand so it kind of opens up a bit. But I'll shake it firmly and go, yes, that's what's happened if you grip a little bit harder. But I will take that man's handshake
I'm
today.
gripping the hardest I can, you fucking heathen!
Oh, I've seen, it doesn't matter. I don't want to insult you in this moment of comradeship. And then I turn to Alexa and I go, Alexa, I had some questions. I have some useless stock of human flesh in the Orphean for colonists, which we have picked up.
She's going to instantly turn around at this and just be like,
Oh no, this isn't Mega. Because he's already made this suggestion.
Oh no, this is just a meta pigeon being annoyed in the background.
Oh, okay.
No,
I don't think this is.
No, it's not. It's not. Like I say,
he has talked about it. He has talked about it.
Yeah.
On the evening bits.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's been telling us what he's been doing in his day.
The doorbell goes. Bing bong.
Jeeves
goes to the door, and in walks Kara.
Hey!
Oh, she looks good tonight.
The cat monkey quite ignitely ignores Jeeves.
Okay, then.
The cat pointedly ignores Jeeves. It goes up to your bed, Quintius, and then settles in on your bed.
All right, I'm not going to interrupt what's happening. But I'm going to go over to my bed. I'm going to squeak the cat toy, put it on the bed next to her, give her a quick stroke, and then go back to the table.
Okay.
What does the cat toy look like, Dave?
I have no idea. I imagine it's like some sort of internal organ of an animal. For some reason, that's how it's always looked in my head, like a liver.
Do you want me to show you what it looks like?
Okay. Yeah, if you've got the cat toy, yeah.
Yeah, of course I've got the cat toy, Dave. I mean,
God,
it's in your inventory.
I know, but Alan, I didn't expect you to know what it looked like.
It's here, right? It is right in front of you.
Oh Jesus! What the fuck is that? Is that double-ended dildo with studs on it?
Dave, why does your mind have to go there?
Because I'm a filthy peon, Alan.
So the cat monkey, it's this. It looks like a bone with
All right.
multicoloured fondles on of some variety.
So I was
There you
right,
go.
pretty much.
I mean, look, anything,
Bomb part,
Dave,
I think
anything is a
it's
sex toy if you're brave enough. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm going to give it a little squeak, give it to Kara, and go back to the table. Look over at Kara a couple of times. Not really fondly, but more like quizzical.
It's one of the most epic lines I've ever heard, Alan.
I can't take credit for it. I mean,
Well, anything is-
I'm not that
brave
witty,
enough.
but yeah.
Fucking, it is a good line. I don't know where the origin of that line
No, I
is,
don't
but
know.
it's fucking incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
It ties in really well with the page no line, if you understand what that reference is.
I don't know if I do. I don't believe I do.
Page no was a response to anything's a sex toy if you're brave enough, and it's usually a quite attractive young lady with something large and phallic in a very heavily edited video where she jumps, so she lands on it. Usually the sex toy would be about 6 foot long, and the video cuts off just before she's impaled on it. And the title of that video is Page No, because obviously her name is Paige.
I see. So anyway, Arnold was talking to Alexa and suggesting that he had some useless Orphean 4s. Could Alexa put them to use? As servitors, perhaps?
I could certainly put them to some good use. Yes.
I have plenty more to vet.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
like,
immoral?
That's
Who said that?
Well,
one
it's
said
certainly immoral.
No one said that.
I think I'm gonna need to find out how many. I'm gonna say just how many can you get? How many can you get me?
I can get you 5 so far after today's work, but you know, depending on the grade of quality of people we get through, we will designate them to your work class. Tell them they're off to work in the chop shop.
Yes, that sounds agreeable. That would be great. Separate the not so useful ones from the useful ones, and then send them to me.
Well, I can also. The trouble is, there'll be a drain on resources. Some of them are just drunkards and that, and reprogramming is the only way to sort them out. Or
That's
give them a new
fine.
arm,
We will fuel our services with alcohol.
You don't need to do that once you plug them in. Like, I don't think so. Is that the way it works? Alexis, do you seriously power servitors with alcohol?
She's just gonna
Seriously?
she's just gonna tap on her nose. And just,
Where's his stash?
she's gonna
My
raise an eyebrow and then just look back to what she was doing, which is basically eat some food or something like that with her finger.
my
You look attractive while you're talking about ale, raising your eyebrow at me.
my uncle Felroth had
Thank
a
you.
drink problem.
Did he?
Yes, we sent him for servitorization after many years of abuse towards my auntie and my cousins, and he couldn't be straightened out, you know. So yeah, we sent him away. They turned him into a servitor, and as far as I know, to this day, he still serves as a manservant in that household. So, you know, even those ones with drink problems that you mentioned, Arnold, you know, they have a way of being of use, service, that sort of thing.
Ah, well, that seems quite humane then. What a good way to get good resources in a most humane way. And
Exactly.
they continue to serve. Ha! Can't think of
And
anything
we
better.
should all be of use and service to the God Emperor of mankind. Blessed be his name, Aquila.
Yes, the Aquila. Blessed be
yes.
the wolf.
Alexa's going to make some sort of like weird cog symbol like that, but it's going to look weird because she's going to do it right in front of her grill.
I always imagine that if the Aquila is this, like if that's the Aquila, I always imagine the sign of the cog is more like this, with a lot of fingers all over the place.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So Jan, what have you accomplished in your days?
Yes, you secretive, weird bastard. What have you been up to?
I just been
Football.
getting the tats, man. I'm gonna show them working on my tattoos.
The tattoos are excellent. You especially appreciate them, Arnold. Obviously, tattoos has perhaps more of a meaning in a feral world. It's more of a thing which is kind of more fundamental sometimes in a feral world. Is the use of tattoos, where
I'll come round.
it's masterwork. What you're seeing here is masterwork. This guy is whoever's doing the work on him is a genius.
We
I'll
can all
nod
see
my head
these,
at
yeah?
Jan.
Sorry.
We can all see these coming.
Yeah. I mean, I think Jan's showing them off. Is that right, Jan?
Yeah.
John,
Prince-
these are incredible. I mean, I've been to some fancy galleries. Granted, they weren't always using human flesh. Sometimes, maybe. But this work is incredible. I am something of an appreciator of an art, of course, given my background. But this on human flesh, not the easiest canvas, from what I hear. Some fantastic work. Where did you get this done?
What's the name of the?
It's Nahiro, and he lives in the starboard barracks, which is also known colloquially as the Peruvian Quarter, or at least that section of the starboard barracks. I think the Scintillans have a sizable contingent in the starboard barracks.
Sizable contingent.
I have some other news. If anybody wants to hear it, I'm making our own bodyguard unit out of Orpheans, the ones which can fight. I'm going to have them a shotgun shock group. Hopefully.
Whoa there, Nelly. What?
That's what I'm planning. Shotgun shock group of Orphean 4 bodyguards for myself or whoever walk around with me all day long.
Just one moment. You're making bodyguards out of the people that survived the world we decimated.
Oh yeah, I'd serve it as the useless ones.
You don't see a potential catastrophe there, Arnold.
Do you think?
I don't think there's going to be any more of a catastrophe from them than what I'm hearing from other people around the ship, man.
What?
It is worried. I'm just worried that there'd be a mutiny coming. There'd be
The slowest viewing mutiny of all time.
Yeah. There'd be a divide between the lines. People who think Spinebreaker has the right idea, call them Puritan. After Eric, yeah. After I took Eric's life, there'll be people coming up to me and approving of what I've done. They want to see an end to the heretics, man. But I think it runs deeper among the ship. There'll be a lot more people. If somebody want me to go meet him tonight, man, I'm not sure what to do about.
Who wants to meet you, Jan? And where and why? And does he have an attractive wife?
It's only going to add a little bit to that.
Well, he wants me to. I'm going to get the note out.
Okay.
I got this in the pub.
In the pub.
Oh, there's a Jamaican name for pub.
Can you remind us what it says, please?
Yeah, of course I can. Just one moment.
Come alone.
Come all over my face. Sorry.
No,
I've gone full Quintius.
Dear. It seems like Quintius is falling a little faster. It used to be Arnold who was falling the fastest. Now it's
Yeah.
Quintius. Just give us a second.
I
I'm
was
just gonna
go-
get the.
I-
In
I
my
could say-
defence, I think Quintius was falling before the game began.
I believe he was. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
only role playing into Brownie saving my ass a bit from the axe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I mean, I
role-playing
kind
into.
of,
That's
I
why
kind of wrote
behaving a bit
Quintius's
nicer.
fall into his backstory. So
indeed you did. So I'm only teasing, guys. Don't take anything I ever say very seriously.
but there's redemption
So,
on the cards too. If only you
I
look
was
hard
doing
enough.
mine as
Okay,
I was
so
playing my role play as a juncture from the
okay. Just to tell you what it says to answer your question. It says, Judge. There are those on board this ship that wish to see the heretics on board purged. We think that you are of a similar mind. Please meet with us at the Lower Transit Access Hub, Gamma 64, tomorrow night at 2100 hours, ship time. Do not tell your fellow acolytes of this meeting. Make sure you are not seen by the servo skulls, nor followed. And there's no signature.
Okay. So we've
about-
seen this note now, yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah, Jan shared it with you, right?
So, for a start, can Alexa bring that up on some kind of, if we got a tablet of
Like a
some
ship's...
kind?
Yeah, you've got a date slate between you, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'll
Jan.
whip out
And
there.
yeah, and Alexa can bring up the ship schematics, and she's got a... She can certainly do that.
Can I check the archives or get run a check on handwriting in the archives, see if anybody's filled out records and things like that? Is it all computerized?
So the note, it looks like it's kind of been printed. You don't reckon? Oh, actually, no, that's not true because I said it was handwritten before. So I'd like you, please, to make a tech use test, Alexa. But this is at a -30.
It's fine.
And it's quite it's quite a tricky job what you're proposing to do.
Yeah.
You can bring up service records. I might be able to narrow down who it is. Because I saw his fierce indignation.
Okay, so yeah, so I'd like you add a +10 for Jan's assistance.
Okay,
Because he can narrow it down. For example, Jan points out that, not to metagame too much, did you? But you knew he was a gunnery loader, or at least he was dressed as a gunnery loader, so that gives you some information. You also can give a little bit of description of his features and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So Jan can add a +10 to your test.
What am I testing on? Sorry.
You're testing on tech use.
Keys.
So that'd be what,
Minus-
-20?
minus 20.
Uh-huh.
Minus 20.
fake point.
I'll fake point that.
Do you have a fate point?
I believe so. Shut up. I think I do. I'm a double check.
I probably got one back from killing
Yeah,
something a while back.
I think I maybe did. I hope
Oh, have you lost it again?
It's likely. No, I've got one.
Yeah, of course you can use your fate point.
I use that my measly fate point for this very purpose. A second. Sorry, I'm just in shock still that I've actually got a fate point.
This
I
is
think I'll
stronger than ever.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she might not die again. What are we doing? Tech use. Sorry. Irony. I'm actually struggling with tech and is that useful?
Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry. We're familiar with your technological.
It's ease. No, it's not to me.
Okay, so you scan through the handwriting, but maybe he's done something to his handwriting to mask it somehow, or maybe he hasn't written in such a way that his handwriting has gone on record, which you think is more likely.
Yeah.
So you're struggling to tally up the exact crew member who this is.
Wrote it with my right hand.
Sorry?
Hey.
Who said that? I'm going to approach Jan. And I'm going to say,
Jan, the Emperor's light does not hide in the shadows. It banishes darkness. Whoever wrote this note to you does not serve our beloved unholy terror. He cowers somewhere beyond sight. Somewhere where we cannot see.
Working for Spinebreaker.
As
How many other people are working with it?
Quintius
Sorry, what was
says
that,
that-
James? I didn't get that.
Said it's almost certainly the work of Spinebreaker. But how many other people work with it?
Does it matter?
If it plunges the ship into civil war, then it matters.
No. Jan, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the entire ship is evil and heretical. It doesn't matter if the gods of the warp themselves are against us. All that matters, Jan, is that we are true. And that we stand up in the face of darkness. Do you not agree?
For sure, man. I want to know everybody's view. Should I go meet this man on my own?
You absolutely will not go on your own. And I'm going to start getting my weapons ready.
Well,
just gonna say, like, if you
I've,
go with more than one person, they'll just disappear. They won't.
yeah, I'm going to say something similar, but you've
Yeah.
picked it, so that's... Yeah, I
think you're right.
it's-
I think subterfuge must be the order of the day if I am to find out any more.
It's also said tell nobody, so everybody in this room are... Say like Jeeves. Jeeves, you're not allowed to use the terminal or go out of the room until
Good.
Jan's back.
Could track
I don't
you.
want
We
to...
could try and track you.
I don't want no leave. I don't...
Yeah, try and keep an eye on me, and do you
Jeeves,
I keep the server from following me?
Not like because he said no servo schools or anything like that. So it's like we
well,
might be.
yeah, what he said was don't let the servo schools
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah.
And Jeeves speaks up and says, yes, it does seem likely that they might take precautions if you did not go alone. And he agrees with Alexa.
Good Jeeves.
However, going alone puts me in the most vulnerable position.
I could dress up as some sort of hound and he could ride me. Mate.
Jeeves says, are you sure you want to do that?
Indeed.
I mean, I'm no tactical expert, but that sounds like a horrific idea.
Hey, I have a bit of fur and some fangs.
What's that
and teeth.
6'4"
I'm
dog
sorry.
you've got with you? Oh, don't worry, it's just a very angry basset hound.
Some kind of Fenrisian joke I'm too stupid to understand.
Eyebrows,
He doesn't say that. He doesn't say that. He just looks. He raises an eyebrow at you, Arnold.
Okay, right. Look. Okay.
Good,
So maybe
he's
we
dead.
don't go on force. Maybe, Jan, if you go on your own, you are in danger. Yes.
Yes, probably.
So, I would
But,
feel more comfortable if we were all as close as we could be to respond to you if you are in peril.
Well, we know the location and we know the best place for you guys. Maybe Alexa can find somewhere for you to hide on the map close by, and you stay in radio contact.
I'm going to turn to Alexa, finger guns, both hands, and go, Alexa, do that!
Gonna do the. She's just gonna tap into the data slate and then just check it. Oh, and just check
Okay.
check the schematics.
Yeah,
Make
so
an
this is something you
analysis.
can do, Alexa. It's something you can do without a test. You can, you can suggest a different route for each of you that will take you down into the underdecks and will put you in the vicinity of where Yarn will be. And you can give each person a route to take. It's not something that you need to make a test for because it's well within your capabilities.
Do that.
Okay. It's I'll do that. I also think it might be an idea to maybe put some sort of tracking device on to Yarn if we can.
Yep.
If we can do
If
that.
we have one.
Yeah, because
I'm not sure that you have one. Something you can maybe make. I don't know if you've got one or got something you could use. I don't know.
got some
Let's have a look.
material.
Let's have a
Got
look.
some materials. Might mean dismantling a servo skull or something like that because they can be. I'm sure they've got some sort of tracking thing in there.
So I think this is something that you could do. It's not something you could do just like that.
No, it doesn't like.
It's not something you could do in time for this meeting tonight. So.
Is she capable of controlling servo skulls?
Good idea for later, Alexa, but right now
Yeah.
we just need to stay close. We've all got comm beads. If Yarn gets in trouble, we need a code phrase, and we can all just run to wherever he is. What's the code phrase?
I'm trying to think of what was it?
What about
Reptiles, quiche.
quiche?
Quiche.
On the word quiche, we rush to Yarn's aid if there's trouble. Agreed.
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 Okay.
Kind of.
Any kind of quiche. It's all the same.
Sort of is, isn't it?
Although broccoli and Stilton is my favourite. But before Yarn goes, I'm going to fish around in my pockets, and I'm going to pull out the wooden Aquila that I've been carrying around for a long time, and go. It's not very big. I'm going to give it to Yarn and go. Take this with you.
I'll protect you.
You do notice that somewhere along the way, Quintius, it's picked up a slight chip.
Ah,
Not chip. It's a slight
shit. Well, still, Yarn, take this with you. It's better than the other Aquila I don't have.
That's Quintius. I'll bring it back.
one. Okay.
And
So add
then I'm going to.
add an Aquila to your inventory, please.
And then I'm going to get dressed into my clothing with the mesh underneath and get my pistol in there and my sword at the ready. Not the cane, the one I took from Quintius down on the planet.
So you're going to all get into full battle readiness, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to each travel by a separate route to the underdecks.
Absolutely. This sounds like a flawless plan.
Are you taking precautions not to be seen? Or are you just heading blasé? Or are you going to...
I'm taking precautions not to be seen.
Okay, so you're trying to go in a stealthy manner. Trying to avoid the ship's service skulls? Like you were told?
I will be
Can,
avoiding as much as possible, and also I'm going to wrap my head up in my scarf.
I potentially reprogram these service skulls to avoid, where we're going. In case
Okay, so when you're when you're melded with a ship, Alexa, you have complete control over the service skulls. You'd have to go off to your little secret den.
I'll
But
do
that
that.
wouldn't take you too long if you want to head off. So Alexa, but that means you wouldn't be in the general area if it did go wrong.
That's
Or
fine.
you could still be able to assist in maybe other ways as well.
I could use them for surveillance and sort of see what's coming, or to send out a scout. You know what I mean? So they're saying try not to be seen by the servo skull, by the servo skull. It doesn't mean I can't use the servo skulls to try and see them. You know, it's
No, far from it. It's the rebels who are trying to avoid the service skulls.
so like surveillance. So it's like more like a control room sort of role. So it's them. Could do that. That's cool.
The rebels.
or the mutineers, let's say.
Yeah.
Or we could say I don't know. There's
there's a lot.
or you could also say I don't know, the loyalists. I don't know. There's lots of words you could use.
Oh, you called them loyalists. That's a big plot thing, Alan.
Not really. I think
For all our pious players out there.
Spinebreaker's got grey knights on his side. I think it's fairly clear to you that he is a.
It doesn't
loyalist.
necessarily mean we're bad guys. It just means that we are not we're not Puritans. That's all it is. Surely. Anyway, that's how I'm justifying our behaviour.
Anyway, if I
on the
haven't
way,
dropped an offence by now, there's no helping you guys. So
oh fucking God, yeah. On the way, I'm on the way there. On my path, I'm not sticking to the shadows. I'm trying to do the whole Quintius bullshit thing. Like, you know, I'm projecting an aura that I'm supposed to be here, and if anyone questions me, I'll brush it off. But once I get deeper into the more shady regions, then I'll go a bit more stealthy.
okay. So you're going off to your control room, Alexa. Arnold, you're trying a stealthy approach. You can be, you know, for a big man, you can be stealthy.
Yeah, I've got quite
You
a
need
good
to.
agility.
You know, you can be a hunter. So, and Jan, what about you? You're taking a stealthy approach as well.
I'm going to ask Jeeves if he can hook me up with like a black cloak.
A black cloak.
Yeah.
And he goes in short notice, and he heads off to the cupboard, and what he does is he starts to work on there's like some overalls, and he starts to try and convert them. In fact, haven't you already got a cloak, James? Is that on my
it's
trip? I think you've already got. It's a tattered cloak. Is that?
Yeah. No, I
He
think-
starts to work on. He starts to rework some overalls, and he does a quick job. Let's see how good a job he does. Okay, he works quickly, and yeah, I mean it looks quite tattered as well. His work. So you now have 2 tattered cloaks.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jeeves. No.
Very good, sir. Happy to be assistance. You keep giving Jeeves these last-minute jobs, and he does his best, but you know, he's just a man.
This is literally why I brought Jeeves into the game for this purpose. It's fantastic.
That's Jeeves.
Also, didn't you suggest killing him off only moments ago, Arnold?
Yeah.
Do I hear
Don't you
that?
dare
Do I
kill
hear
Jeeves.
Oh,
Hey,
honestly.
If you kill Jeeves in the game, I will drive to your house and beat you with a bat. He's my pet.
Yeah, you should never kill someone's pet, should you, Dave, in the game?
No, never.
You shouldn't do that.
I haven't
Okay,
killed your
so-
pet. What are you talking about?
Well, I think,
It's about to turn into John Wick.
I don't know what you're talking about, Alan. I mean, if you hadn't abandoned that game, you might have learnt more. But hey,
I didn't abandon nothing. Anyway, so okay, so I think are we on? Have we got a plan? We're all heading off
Yes.
individually.
Yeah,
trying to
do you want any
avoid
rolls
service.
from me? Or
Yeah, I'm going to ask everyone for some
All right.
roles. Apart from Alexa, who's not going directly there, she's going to a command room. Alexa, I'd like you to go. Actually, no. So what you do, Alexa, is you go to your room and you
Yep.
meld with the ship. The ship doesn't talk to you directly, but she's aware that you're there, and she lets you do your thing.
Huh?
And you see where the server skulls are placed, and you know the routes that you've suggested to each of them. And you start to move the server skulls around so that they won't observe your allies. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, Quintius and Arnold, I'd like you to make an agility roll. If you've got any relevant skills, you can get bonuses. Did you have like concealment, Quintius?
yes,
Or anything like that. So if you've got concealment, you can add plus 20 to your agility
I have
roll.
concealment and silent
Any-
move. I don't know which would be
Okay,
more.
so we'll go add a total of plus 30 then. Arnold, you've got survival. That'll give you plus 10. Any other relevant skills you think to this test? So
1.7 degrees of success.
Okay, so you think you're doing a good job here, Quintius, with avoiding being seen and acting stealthily. What about you, Arnold? Anything just survival or anything else you've got to add here?
Survival. I'll re-roll that one.
Okay. Okay, and Jan, you've got survival, haven't you?
Yeah.
Have you got anything? Have you got anything else that I think might help you to move stealthily through the ship? Or
So, half.
I'm afraid the tattered cloak
No,
does not, gives you a bonus of plus 1.
no, I don't think I do.
Okay, so we'll say plus 11 for you, then. You're on agility roll of plus 11.
Does my face wrappings give me a concealment bonus? Because remember, I said I was tying a red scarf around my face.
Well, I'm afraid a red scarf might draw attention to you.
Well, you can't see my
But
face.
Yeah, go Jan.
Arnold, you pass your test. So all three of you think that you are acting, quite clandestinely, and Jan, you make your way to the meeting point, and Quintius and Arnold, you get yourselves reasonably close, not too close to, to make them flee or to be seen, or you think, but you get close enough that you can help if it turns to violence. Alexa, what are you doing anything else here? You've cleared the servo skulls.
Yeah.
So, the meeting won't be seen by the ship.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to do from your vantage point? Would you like to open the airlocks, Alexa?
No, not yet.
Don't listen to him, Johnny. Alan, you're such a fucking troll.
I won't be lectured on trolling by you, Dave.
There we
You
go.
get off your high horse right now, son. Right. So yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Alan's answer to it all, though. Yeah, I'm not having that, man. It does it to me as well. It does it to me. It just shuts me down.
What you mean? What you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry, Alan. Evil Overlord. Beg your forgiveness. I was not worthy. I did not take the ruthless path.
Oh, dear. Alexa, is there anything else you'd like to do from you're in a comfy chair, there's some light music playing around, Alexa, and there's it's really nice here, it's quiet, you don't really hear even the thrumming of the plasma engines, you've got your own little room, you're connected with the ship.
I'd like to try and find
Your own space.
Sorry.
some heroes, Dave.
Would you like to open the
Sorry.
airlock?
I'm sorry, I was doing the nice music.
Can I open the airlock at Dave's house?
Dave's
Yeah, go for it. I've got nothing left to live for, Johnny. Do it,
Right,
please.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not access the. No, I'm going to do is I'm just going to, while this is going on, I'm just going to do and look for information on the engineers and more. I don't know. I want to ask the ship about the engineers, but I won't do it now because we're doing a mission. But I'd like to do that.
Okay, so we can do that at the start of next
Yeah.
time. You've got questions for the ship, and now's a good time. So this is something definitely. The ship knows quite a lot, it seems. So it's a good thing to try. But let's do that start of next game. I think that's all right with you, Johnny. But I think that's that's a
good thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
the ship's going to know, isn't it? So.
Alan, you've frozen, I think, on mine.
Yeah.
Frozen on mine.
Yeah, your video's frozen on mine.
Discord has been griefing me today.
I can hear you now, though.
Can you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't matter, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can see it.
Still mobile.
Discord's been proper griefing me tonight. So, Alexa, you're going to get some intel from the ship. Yeah, I was saying, I'm sorry to put a brick wall in your way, Johnny, but there's a number of ways you can chip away at this one. And say getting some intel from ships a good way to go about it.
Yeah,
So-
that's something I'll start there. So,
yeah, go on.
God, what I was going to say. And so I've got the schematics of where they are. I've got these schematics of where this meeting's occurring. And what I want to do is I want to see if I can get access to the doors surrounding that area. Because then we could potentially, if he meets this person, we could trap him.
Yeah, you can close doors in the area. That's well within your capabilities as the ship.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's easily done.
Godly overview mode. Sounds pretty cool.
Or it's
I
like,
say at the minute, the eyes of the ship are the servo skulls. So at the minute, you can't see directly. But if, for example, if Jan was to comms into you, and ask you to shut off various doors. It could be done. So
Yeah,
you know where the doors are. You know where the meeting is in place, but you don't have an actual eye. The server skulls are the eyes. Yeah.
problem at all. But I mean, like I say, Yarn can be the eyes as well. So it's like if Yarn, I'm just gonna come into Yarn and just say, you know, if you need any doors closing or opening, let me know.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, like trapping him using the combat control on the doors is definitely within your capabilities from where you are, Johnny. So
Definitely.
cool.
So I'll do that.
Okay. So, is there anything else before we proceed?
Oh,
From
I'm
anyone?
good.
Anyone else?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just stealthing along, climbing over people in corridors so they don't see me.
Cut my hip flask and drain the end. No, I'm not.
Okay.
No.
So,
Preparation. for your next, for what could possibly be your greatest role.
okay.
Every
so,
role is my greatest role, Jonathan.
I know.
Yarn.
Yeah.
You head towards the meeting place, and it's just like you saw in your vision. The lights are low down here, the infra lights, and you see the mysterious man, just as you saw in your vision. He's there,
Jeez, occultist.
dressed in his Gurry Loader uniform. You see his face, protected by some form of
Some kind of jazz trilby on.
Jazz Trilby, no.
You're not taking this seriously, guys.
I don't
Listen
waste
to
time.
me,
Ruining it
GM.
for everyone.
He's getting
Ruining it.
frustrated.
No,
He's about to grief us all.
I'm only teasing. I'm not remotely. I'm far away from that. I'm just pretending, Dave. But anyway,
I
yes,
know.
the-
You would have killed us months ago if that was true.
I'm actually reasonably tolerant. I think the closest I got to actually generally being wound up was when Johnny started jumping in every 2 seconds when I was trying to talk to Brownie as Jack and
Yeah.
Johnny kept jumping in over and I was like, shh, 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 shh. Because Johnny, you were pissed.
That's
you were
the
you were
secret
on the
of
whiskey,
being-
and I was like, just give me a fucking minute, Johnny.
That's the secret of being a GM. You can take the shenanigans, you can take the bullshit. What you can't take is the metagaming and the jumping in.
Yeah.
That was the most I've been wound up recently. But even then, I was reasonably good. But
Yeah,
now I'm not even remotely wound up. But when Johnny,
I
when
think-
you're on the whiskey, Johnny, you'll wind me up. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
That's what I tried to do.
I think you're very even-handed, Alan. I think you're very even-handed in terms of that. But right now, I will encourage you to kill James.
I mean, James is basically like James has made such a powerful character. I don't think I'm not sure.
That's why you should kill him right now.
I'm not sure I can be killed. Okay, so anyway, Yarn, you're here with a mysterious man. He's got
What
some
did you
sort
do
of
last time?
He's got some sort of mask on.
Didn't you shoot me with a gun? Pretty much did the job.
I missed that, James. I'm sorry.
Yeah, James has gone robot. James, what?
Yeah, I've got
I
robot
didn't catch
James
you there,
as
mate.
well.
Hey, I'm pretty sure that grenade down on the surface nearly fucking did the job.
Oh, do you mean the suicide bomber?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that did merely make you use a fate point. Not quite.
Yeah, next time he'll use
that
two.
was. I did enjoy that quite a lot. I did. I especially
was
enjoyed it
awesome.
when he said, "It's probably the highlight of my campaign. Not quite the highlight, but it's up there. It's in the top 10." So.
So good.
Dear. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so you're here with the mysterious man. You saw him in your vision. You know what his face looks like behind this mask because you've seen it with divination. And when he talks, there's some kind of Vox unit that is distorting his voice. So he's trying to keep these secrets from you. But you've already seen his face, and you know who he works for. You know he works for Spinebreaker. And he sees you and is, and then you sense a little bit of relief, perhaps
yeah,
when he
good
speaks to you. And he talks and he says, let's see, he says, he doesn't appear to be armoured, by the way. And he's got this wide-brimmed jazz trilby hat that casts a shadow over his face. And he says, "So you came. I'm glad you did. I wasn't sure that you would.
You wanted to
Were
see
you,
me.
were you seen? Were you followed? Did the
You
servo
can-
skulls see you?
I don't think so.
The ship is always watching you now. The ship is always watching.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Jan, I will come straight to the point. The Inquisitor that you follow is a heretic, most foul. His quest serves the Arch-Enemy. There are many on board who follow the God Emperor still. And in the days to come, there shall be mutiny. Those loyal to the God Emperor will rise up and kill Lucius and destroy the ship.
In what way is he serving the Arch-Enemy? You're going to have to do more than platitudes to convince me of anything.
He is a member of a cult. The cult of Asmodean, the Demon King. At least that is what we believe. There has been certain ties from House Alexander to this cult, this fellowship.
I need hard evidence before I act against an Inquisitor. Man.
And he says, that I do not believe I can provide you. I do not believe anything I could provide you would be convincing enough. Lucius is a clever man. He does not leave such obvious evidence. So I'm getting some feedback from someone. Hayden, would you? Hayden, mate, I've got some noise from you, buddy.
My thing's always on green. I think it's hard.
I think your sensitivity's a little bit too high. You know, you turned it up the other week, didn't you? I think you
Yeah,
turned
I
it up
did.
maybe too much. It's
still
picking up everything. Like, it's not picking
If
up.
you wouldn't mind,
It's not picking up It's not picking up Alan talking. It's picking up just noise, isn't it?
If you wouldn't mind just muting yourself for now or having a fiddle around it. And he
says
says to you, he says, Lucius is an incredibly clever man, and he hides behind proxies and minions and all the trappings of his role. It has taken many, many years of searching and finding, just to find any ties between House Alexander and this cult. There's nothing concrete that I can show you. But I ask you simply to use your eyes, to look around the ship. You must know what I say to be true.
I know Lucius is radical. And I know that his goals are radical. But I have no proof of what his goals are or that his goals are heretical. In fact, in my recent discussions with him, we are trying to contain heretical items on the ship. So
He says, lies are the tool of the enemy. You cannot trust anything that he says or does. Everything that he does is a plot. It's a plan. Look, you killed Eric Icebrenger. He was a member of Lucius's personal guard, and he was a heretic. Your judgment was true. You asked for evidence. Look to the ship. We believe the ship itself is an abominable intelligence. We also believe, I have good intelligence, that he has taken on mutants, that he's training up as shock troopers. Heresy is sat upon heresy on board the ship.
That's quick.
He's got a point.
who would do such a thing?
Lies are the tools of the Arch-Enemy.
Jan, let me be clear. When the mutiny comes, all on board must pick a side. We will need you on ours. Your strength is well known. You may tip the battle in favour of the uprising, but if you stand against us, what chance do we have? You ask for evidence. You ask for proof. Have faith.
Do you know where the Sisters of Battle have gone from this ship?
Sisters.
The
And
sisters.
you mean...
I know you work for Spinebreaker.
and he says...
Sisters want to work for Spinebreaker?
he says to you... yes, I do work for Spinebreaker. And he is willing to forgive your betrayal if you choose the correct path. As for the sisters, I can tell you that Sister Zanfe serves with Spinebreaker now. As for Sister Clematis, I have no idea where she is. She's gone missing. Without
Something's a
trace.
cunt.
Old Xanthe.
Clematis is more interesting to me since Mike's character. I don't know where she's. Where?
Nobody does.
I know exactly where she is.
She's been fed to the crew.
Only your bellies.
He's saying that some of those dog kebabs
Yes,
are actually
you.
Clematis kebabs. I mean,
Too easy, Johnny.
would I do a thing like that?
Way too easy.
Piece by piece.
Jan, I beg you, pick the right side. Join us. Join the mutiny. We need you.
Yeah, you were both these Inquisitors, man. They like to obfuscate and keep their little secrets to themselves. They both be saying the same thing. I know that he's Lucius is a radical by any measure, but look at the region of space we're in.
Yes. A foul place. And he comes there again and again, searching for these paintings.
What's his goal with the paintings, man?
We are not sure, but we believe it is something to do with his patron, his Asmodean.
Talk to your Inquisitor, man, and get me some information on the Asmodeans. I need something concrete before I act. Before I act against my colleagues.
He scratches his head and he says, I will try and do as you ask. But life is not always so clear-cut. You'll have to pick a side, Jan. Everyone will have to pick a side. Just hope that you pick the right one.
When the time comes, for your own sake, you better be on my side, man. Don't you worry about anyone else. And I'm just going to walk away.
Okay. You walk away, doesn't try and stop you. And he walks in the other direction when he sees you leaving. And that's... Go on.
So I was going to close.
No,
as he tries to walk away, I'm going to close the door in front of him.
I'm going to bring up a meta chicken.
That's fine. I'll be like, you're not funny, Alexa. Open the fucking door.
Okay, so as we said, Alexa, before, you don't have eyes and ears.
I know.
Don't need to bring up the chicken. Okay. So if he asks you to do that, that's fine. But if you just do it because you think now's the right time, then I have to bring up the chicken.
No,
don't make me do it. I'm gonna do it.
But it needs to be done at least once.
It's the heavily defiled metagaming chicken.
No.
Who did that to it?
Well, if I had to bet, I'd bet you, Hayden.
Yeah,
I
I would
bet
bet
all
you
my
too.
if I had to bet a lot of money, if I had to bet on two people,
Gonna see what I
you
can
and
grab.
Dave,
Right, first of all, in my defense,
I know what I've done.
defense,
can move my stuff.
In my defense, I have the visual artistic skill of a 3-month-old. So if you ever see something well drawn and think, "Oh, that was Dave," you're fucking wrong, because I can't
I've done
draw.
the
All I'm saying, Dave, is that you've
I've done
spent
that
all this
bit.
time. You spent all. Oh well, actually, that piss. I thought, well, Dave's got form. He pisses all over your games.
No, no,
Yeah,
mine's
but,
like
but
puking
I
chicken.
piss in lines. I don't piss in blocks.
Okay,
It's
so
a
who
puking
drew the
chicken.
stumpy cock in brown?
I
Who
didn't
did
do the
that?
cock or the yeast.
Absolutely not me.
Who was it? It was one of you. It wasn't me.
If it was me, I honestly can't remember.
It definitely
Anyway,
was me. I can't draw at all.
Okay, so Jan.
Anybody can draw a cock on a fucking chicken, Dave. Come on.
I can't draw. I fucking swear, like honestly,
Come on,
I am
guys.
in awe of anyone who
guys
can
are
draw a
better than-
fucking
you're-
stick man. I have no artistic visual ability at all. Like,
Yeah, you didn't
I
paint
am
an
that
animal
guy.
face
I am
at
the
all.
guy that when I see really talented ballet dancers, I go, "Fuck off, that's shit," because I have no appreciation for visual aesthetics.
You're
Sorry.
better,
Dave,
guys. You're
Dave,
better than
Dave-
drawing a stubby brown cock on a chicken.
Dave, but you can paint models.
Better
so
than
like,
that.
you know,
I am. I
Shut
did
up,
red
Johnny.
eyes
Don't pick
and
holes in my
puke
argument. Go fuck yourself.
on flames.
like
Yeah.
pretty well. You know what I mean?
Better
Like
than that,
decent.
guys.
Like yeah, like
No, no,
You
they're-
can rise
I'll be
above
on. I'll be honest. I'm quite proud of my Gene Stealer cult, but they're not great. You know, that was just practice and repetition.
Oh,
It's not actual
that's it.
skill.
There's a lot of people
Isn't
who
that
love
up?
to be where you are. That
Some
was
of it.
I don't know,
Some of
that's
it,
it.
Dave.
There's a lot of people who'd love to be where you are in terms of
Yeah.
painting. Don't put yourself down like that.
Yeah,
Look, I'm not putting myself down. I'm just literally blowing smoke screens and creating mirrors to detract from myself and put the blame on you for everything. Shut up. I'm not here. Why are you talking about me? Go fuck yourself.
Okay, guys. So
That's where we'll leave it.
I was going to leave the game there after your meeting with the.
Oh, I've
the
got
loyalists?
loads of energy.
Well,
I have to. But
I'm kind of a bit like obviously full of cold. So
Alan's a pussy, so we need to stop. That's what we're saying.
no, well, no. I
Yeah.
mean, I could carry on a little bit, but I don't know. Johnny, you're the one with the earliest start. Are you?
I've got a very early start. So
Yeah. So
Okay,
we'll,
yeah,
we'll
you're
have
right.
we'll have an
Johnny's
early
the
end,
pussy, not Alan.
and we can.
Yeah.
fuck you, Dave.
I mean, I want to stop early because I've got full of cold. But we
You're
can
all
sit around
pussies.
and- we can-
You're probably
also around
you're probably stroking one I have on your lap right now. You know what I mean?
No. I'm just really drunk. So
Well, to be honest, I'll still be on for a bit, and I'm quite happy to discuss this game and the last game I did.
Mm.